it's playing on here.
I gotcha. You see, because you were all excited. And then boom.
Yeah, you're still muted.
All right, I had my laugh.
That's
Go
why
on then.
Whoa, hey!
Now that's funny.
I love it.
The second time. Because you really think I'm going to let you in. But I'm not.
And here we go.
Justin, unmute us.
Well, no, because we have
There we go.
Here we go. Welcome to the Deep Threats podcast today. It is January 28, 2023. We are on our Saturday show. That is the day before the title games in the AFC and the NFC and the NFL. I can't hear me.
What?
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Wow, I can barely hear me.
Can't hear KJ very well, says Kelly.
So, yeah, I can't hear me.
I can hear you fine. You four over here?
Oh, you know what? She's probably
can
saying
hear
she's
him.
probably I could barely hear me. So I am.
hear you great.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Oh, wow. All right, that's fine. I'm not sure why it is. I'm not sure if it's my mic.
Hey, Kelly, how am
check.
I?
Check,
Because
check.
I'm on a
No,
USB
I can
mic
hear you
today.
now.
Oh, okay.
All right, I was probably speaking in the wrong area. So
That's what
I
she said.
apologize, guys. Rookies over here across the
Amateur.
board.
God
That
bless
being
you.
said, though, God bless you.
God bless you.
And shut up next time.
Oh.
All right. So, as always, you have me, the host of the show today, KJAM. You have our exuberant co-host, Steve.
Exuberant.
The entertaining Bo.
Oh.
The,
Oh, look at that fade. That fade to that face is just a nightmare.
the apologist, Ryan.
Why is he apologist?
He's a Ravens apologist.
Oh, no.
And the new returning guest of the show, the antagonist, Wheels.
Is it new returning? Is
What's
that
up, everyone?
The antagonist. Oh.
Antagonist.
Antagonist. Wheels.
Antagonist.
Also, last but not least, you got the man behind the curtain, JonnyG on the mic.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh, where's your mic? Oh, no.
I couldn't get the wallpaper
he took
up.
the
Oh,
mic.
no.
Oh, no.
Yeah. All right, then let's move on and just jump right into news and rumors today because I don't have anything to kind of intro the show. You're going to do that for me today, Steve. Go for
I'm
it.
doing the intro? You just introed.
No, I'm just saying any entertaining information.
Entertaining, and that Nathaniel Hackett got an OC job after completely almost ruining Russell Wilson's career. So I think that's entertaining in itself. I think that's actually insulting to, I don't know, like anybody else trying to grab a realistic job. Like, Eric Bieniemy. I'm not a believer in him because I think Andy Reid does it all. But holy shit, this guy got another job after this year? That's crazy, right? Anyway. Bills fired their safeties coach, Jim Salgado. He's gone. Out of here. Bye. Why would he fire their safeties coach? I don't know. That doesn't make sense. They were hurt all year, and they were probably one of the better parts of that defense. Frank Reich, he's new Panthers head coach. Fun fact, I did not know this. He was the franchise's first quarterback.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. He also maintained a home in that area.
Do you like that image up there I put on the right?
I would. Oh, there you go.
Racist of the year.
Oh, Jesus.
He signed on to the lawsuit because they refused to hire him as head coach over him.
Over Reich, yeah.
Sounds right.
Oh, jeez.
And both of them have the same losing record, essentially.
Sounds right.
They both suck. So why not take the guy that used to play for the franchise?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
To destroy
It
it.
is Indianapolis.
Oh,
so Well, because it the other makes
Oh,
guy's sense.
black.
KJ.
That's why
You
he's the
idiot.
racist of the year.
Whoa.
We live in 2023. Black people can be racist.
There's no apologies here.
Absolutely zero retraction of evidence evers. Frank Reich, he did say, I didn't get this in my notes, he did say that he would like to add Vic Fangio as D coordinator if possible. He made that very public. So I would expect that, at least conversation. Cowboys have fired a bunch of people.
Except for Dan Quinn.
Well, Dan Quinn was probably the bright spot here.
That meme right there.
I got a whole ass list. I can't really see it. But
I am the smartest man alive!
I don't know. He called some good plays. I mean, the O-line coach, Joe Philbin, our running backs coach, Skip Pete, senior defensive assistant, George Edwards. Their contracts not renewed. Out of here. Assistant head coach, Rob Davis. Quality control and analytics, Kyle Valero. Assistant D-line coach, Leon Ladd.
You're just naming every coach on their staff.
That's everybody that got fired. That's a bunch. That to me, that's a lot of turmoil.
Dallas
that's
is
telling.
cleaning house.
Why?
Sounds like Microsoft.
I mean, right? You're gone.
Sounds
Why?
like Twitter.
Why? You're a team that made the playoffs again.
We got rid of
Your
2,500.
defense was good all year. Your offense was contributing all year, even with Cooper Rush. and then you're going to let these guys go? I mean, your RB coach? Why? Tony Pollard?
Didn't get the job done.
I guess. I mean, I would argue against that.
Didn't
but
make the NFC Championship.
Well, you know who they didn't get rid of?
who?
Kellen Moore yet.
No,
Mike McCarthy.
Well, Mike. Yeah.
Well, no.
I thought that was going to happen.
Did you see the Jerry Jones statement?
No,
Jerry
you
Jones
sent
came
it to
out.
me. I didn't see
I
that.
was hoping you'd get it in the news.
I didn't. Well, what was it again?
So he said he wanted McCarthy to be there as long as a coach as Tom Landry was.
That's
That's a long commitment.
Jerry Jones came out and said that.
That's a very long.
Will Mike McCarthy live that long? Will Jerry Jones live that long?
I think Jerry might never
Jerry
die.
Jones might be.
He's the
constantly
devil,
on
so
peyote.
I will say that Jerry Jones might not live that long, so whoever the other owner is.
you'd be surprised what money can buy you. Like new organs and biotechnology.
I know who the
and-
U.S. president is.
Super
I wouldn't be
helpful
surprised.
healthcare.
Oh.
I'm Jerry Jones. Thank you.
All right. Tua, his parents said he's not retiring early.
That, by the way, that meme was Bubble Boy.
Was it Bubble Boy? Oh,
Yeah.
No.
We get it, KJ. You could do graphics. Let's move on with the news
I
and
was just
rumors.
throwing up images up there.
Hey, look what I did. I know, it is funny. Let them land. Just let them land. Those are for the viewers. Those are for you guys.
DeMeco Ryan, he is the front runner for the Texans right now. I know we're going to talk about head coaches, but that is big. That day was publicly stated. Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You go from this is your first year as D coordinator. To my understanding, I don't think he was the guy last year, even though Saleh was out. But
He was a linebackers coach, wasn't he, or something like that?
I don't know. The last time a linebackers coach came up and did anything, the Browns took it in the ass.
How much do you think his success is just their defensive pieces?
Not at all.
Because of the
No,
pieces?
I wouldn't say not at all.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, you have like 4 first-round picks on your D line.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty telling.
Yeah, it's
you got a defensive player of the year in your end. So
4 first-round picks on the D line.
I think it was 4. I think it's one.
One just beat up his girlfand the other day. He wasn't a first-round pick.
No, he was a 3rd round. It was allegedly. She didn't have bruises on her anyway.
Chicken or egg?
Kinlaw,
Chicken or egg?
Kinlaw.
He's stellar.
Eric Armstead, and then Boza.
Yep.
I
There you
got
go.
3.
And then what? Their
They used to have
linebacker, too.
DeForest Buckner, but they
They
traded.
can. It's
DeForest Buckner's in like the USFL or something now.
the personnel fits right.
Oh, no, there was a
And
different.
then they
guy.
got Fred Warner
But-
at linebacker too.
Right.
I'm trying to think of a defense that has top talent that didn't do what they were supposed to with it, and I think that my biggest one is like the Commanders.
The Browns.
The
It's
Browns.
like my
Commanders defense was stellar.
like where they spent a lot of capital on Their defensive D-line was good. and they produced. So when you
Cincinnati
take
Bengals.
you add a coach on the defensive side who's competent with the talent, then you're going to get these types of results and make it to the NFC Championship game. When you don't have a coach that's there, because it's like half of the equation, right? So it's like, okay, what do I do with the talent? And I think that the 49ers have proven, hey, we could drop 7 back in coverage, rush 4 and get pressure and win. And I think the Commanders found that later in the season, but then they lost it again after their bye week. Anyway, so I'm just saying that they're to answer your question, half and half.
Okay. That's. I mean, I get that. I mean, look at what some of these defensive coordinators did, and they're gone. Joe Woods, for one example, with all the talent. But we'll move on.
Yeah.
You fan. Anyway. Okay, so on from DeMeco Ryans. We got
I'm
some
still going
rumors.
to say I called
Got
that.
some rumors here. All right.
Rumor has it.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. I saw this tweet and I thought this was crazy. This guy said he is a `1 receiver on all of these teams day one. All of them.
You notice how the Eagles aren't up there.
Hold on. This is
All of them. I had John secretly not show anybody
Wow,
this.
the Broncos?
So I want feedback. I want
Yes.
feedback right now from them.
100%.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm like.
I would put all my money
From the
yeah.
Broncos?
Yes.
Come
What?
on. Come on. I can't.
you're
No,
drunk.
I can't
On
do
the
that.
Steelers?
Yeah.
On the Steelers,
Over
yes.
who would?
Yeah.
Over
Deontay
Pickens?
Johnson
Yeah, he's
and
gonna be better
George
than Pickens.
Yeah, 100%.
no.
No, he's not.
No.
He's not going to be better than Pickens?
No.
No.
No, he's going to be. No, yes, he is.
I,
No.
100%.
I can't
Garrett
see
Wilson was
Indy
better
or
than
Denver.
Pickens. And he's going to be better than Garrett
yes.
Wilson.
Packers, yes.
Debatable.
Everyone.
Actually, I
every
mean,
single one of them, except for maybe the Steelers.
No, I would say
Denver,
everybody except
Denver,
Jacksonville.
Courtland Sutton, and Jerry Jones.
Hold on. There's a lot of
Or
good conversation
Jerry
here.
Jones.
Let's one at a time.
Jerry Judy.
I would say everyone except for Jacksonville.
Denver, Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy?
Right.
Except for Jackson.
Cortland
Calvin
Sutton was a
Ridley.
monster.
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah. But Calvin Ridley has a pedigree, but he needs a number 2, and he has that in Christian Kirk now.
I agree.
Right.
So that's fine.
You mean he needs a number 1?
But here's the question, right? All we've seen him do is speed against
He's not fast.
Big Ten defenses.
Smith and
right?
Jigba's not fast.
We've seen it. Well, the Big Ten corners,
run a
right? Our
4-5,
sample
4-5.
size. Our sample size is
That's
very
slow for a
limited,
receiver.
especially.
I don't know, man.
I saw him in a championship game completely take over in a championship game 2 years ago. He absolutely. Olave went out, and who's the other guy? Garrett Wilson, Rookie of the Year. He outshined both of these guys when
Both
he
of
played
them.
with them.
Both of
So, and those guys are Rookie of the Year in the NFL currently.
Yeah.
And I would take both of those guys and say they're right there. I mean, one of them is arguably the best wide receiver in Garrett Wilson in that division. The other guy is arguably the best wide receiver for an up-and-coming prospect in their division.
I mean,
in the
Drake
NFC South.
London did pretty good
I
this
don't-
year,
I
too.
don't
Hold
think
on.
this
Garrett
is a
Wilson-
far-fetched argument.
Hold on.
The only thing, here's the wide receivers that I would say I'd put on. I'd say it depends in free agency who lands. I don't know that it depends on what type of wide receiver he's going to become.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, obviously.
Rashad Bateman is arguably better than he is. And here's why. The size, the structure, the NFL speed is a number 1 target. He hasn't been healthy.
That's
but
true.
He has better hands.
I wanted him on the Browns. He looked good.
This guy's an athlete. He's great, but stay healthy. So
And then
he might end up being
To
Rashad
say
Bateman.
to say that he's going to be better than DJ Moore on Carolina is laughable.
And Christian Watson had played very well at the end of the
I
year.
have a higher grade of DJ Moore than I do of Smith and Jigba.
What about of Calvin Ridley?
No.
Calvin Ridley's a number 2.
See, I put Calvin Ridley and Smith and Jigba almost in the same boat. Calvin Ridley
agree.
doesn't have
I don't think so.
he doesn't have top end speed, but Calvin Ridley is the nastiest,
Red zone.
crispiest.
Shifty.
His route running is top tier route running. That's what Calvin Ridley had going for him at Bama. He had that route running ability. He can make any corner look stupid.
What's
He even gambles on that.
I mean-
Jigba's special sauce.
Yeah, it's route running.
Route running.
That's it.
So
He
that's
doesn't,
what.
if you watch his film, he doesn't outrun anybody. He
so-
just makes them look like they're on ice skates.
Going back to that season, right? Because it wasn't this year. Because I think he did that. I think that was a business move on his part for this season. If I'm being honest, I think his quad tightened up, or his hammy got there, and he sat. Right?
Then he lowered his draft stock. He lowered his draft stock.
I agree.
He cruised.
But I think he's going to be a guy that drops for good reason. But I think he's going to be a pick. He's going to be a stellar receiver. I think he's a good mix of Garrett Wilson and Olave.
Someone's
He
gonna
can
pitch
beat you
good
deep,
value at him.
but his route running that Garrett Wilson adds is amazing.
So that being said, though, does he make it through? Does he get drafted in the first round then?
I think he should.
Yeah, I think he gets drafted between, I would have to say, like 18 to 32.
He's going to land somewhere on a really good team.
Yeah.
Because when he drops that low, the teams get better.
Guess where it's going to be?
The Ravens.
Baltimore.
Commanders.
I do not want to see him in Baltimore. I really don't.
I don't either. I don't want to play him twice a
Oh,
year.
God.
You know what?
Actually,
He
you know
will
who-
be
you know who
number
fits-
one in Baltimore.
Curtis
you know who fits
Samuel.
Baltimore more? Jordan Addison.
Well, we will talk about that
Yeah,
in the
we'll
offseason.
talk, I wanted to get a good feedback, and we did.
You guys should draft a
There's
quarterback.
4 teams up there that are laughable.
Finishing up on rumors, Warren Sapp is on recording, saying he's heard the Bears are looking to trade Justin Fields away and take Bryce Young at 1. I think
Wow.
that is unbelievably unintelligent for the Bears.
What's the value you get back? What
Can I just get a response out of Bo for that?
I mean,
I want to repeat it because I was reading Jimmy's.
Warren
funny
Sapp-
little
Warren Sapp
Smith and
thinks
Jigba
is
better than
hearing-
Ridley is quite a gamble.
oh,
Who said that?
it's quite.
Jimmy.
I don't think so.
No, I mean,
Smith
like,
and
who
Jigba.
said that Smith and Jigba is better than Ridley?
No, he's saying that is a
Saying
gamble.
as a joke.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah, he's saying that's a
quite the
gamble.
gamble.
I'll get it.
because he got
Damn
busted
it! Good
for
job,
gambling.
Jimmy. Good job.
It was a good pun.
But
you were asking the
Warren
Bears.
Sapp said that he's hearing the Bears are looking to package Justin Fields away, and they're going to take Bryce Young at 1.
Why?
Exactly. Why?
I don't know.
Bryce Young can't run.
Why take him when you could take an accurate quarterback in Stroud?
Why take a quarterback?
I don't. It's
Justin Fields was super accurate in college.
They're rumors for a reason. The speculation is going to be out there.
65%.
Eyeballs and
That's
clicks.
pretty good.
That's all the offseason is
I think all it is,
speculation.
yeah, it's a clickbait take from
Well,
someone.
He was on recording. It was on a podcast. I don't remember. I heard it though. I listened to it.
I find that they want to draw attention to the draft, and so they'll say things about the draft and the number one pick. The number one pick,
Yeah, but from
has
Warren
to
Sapp?
be- but the number one pick, yeah, from anybody that's out there to make money for views. The number one pick, it has to be defensive edge rush. Period.
It's got to be.
And if it's not defensive edge rush,
Especially for the Bears.
If you don't trade out.
You lost.
Right.
Yeah,
Because there's
or trade
two
back to
guys,
4. I think the
it's
Colts should
Carter
make a move.
And it's Anderson.
It's Carter.
And
Really?
it doesn't
For
if
that
you
team.
don't pick one of those two guys, you lost the draft.
I think you take best available
You
for them,
have to.
and that's what it is.
Which should be Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm a big Jalen Carter guy, but Will Anderson.
It's
He's
like
younger.
1A,
Will
1B for
Anderson's younger,
Jalen Carter and
he's-
Will
I think
Anderson.
he's
For
got
me,
more
it's
talent.
very close.
Carter's a little more
But-
proven. So
That's that
do you want it
Aiden
now,
Hutchinson,
or do you want it later?
That's that
Kayvon
Aiden Hutchinson,
Thibodeau.
Kayvon Thibodeau argument.
Yeah, all over again.
it's Hutchinson.
You know
over
what?
Thibodeau,
To
but
me,
okay.
it's you can't miss as long as you take one of those guys.
Well, Kayvon was raw. That was
Kayvon-
the point. Aiden was ready to come in
He
and
was
produce, and he
polished.
did just that.
Kayvon's gonna stir the pot too. I mean, he did the gritty hit on the 50 when they won that game. He's a dog. He's a full on dog.
Both guys. I tell you what, one made it to the playoffs, the other one didn't.
Facts. What? Yeah.
Just
He
saying.
almost made it.
I know
Well,
that's okay.
I mean,
but I know
Didn't they
it's a
have the
team
same
effort.
record?
I know it's a team effort.
That's
but
horseshit.
the other guy had a better offense.
But didn't they have the same record, though?
Thibodeau, I'm just saying.
I'd still take Aiden over
I think
Thibodeau.
I agree.
Aiden for sure.
Didn't they both end 9-8?
But it's the same question, right? Who cares?
Yes, it
They both ended 9-8.
great.
So one made it because one division's horrible.
It ain't the NFC East.
Sure ain't.
The
Anyway,
NFC East has been competitive one year, though. Let's be honest.
This guy's.
But I'm just saying, you said didn't one team make the playoffs and one didn't? I'm like, yeah, but they both had the same record.
I'm just saying they didn't miss either one of them because they both took defensive end.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying the Bears should do.
I understand that. I understand
That's
that.
my
Okay. I thought you were saying player-wise, not team-wise.
No.
I got you.
I'm not
I got you.
arguing players. I'm arguing trading for a quarterback doesn't make sense. We've shown that getting defensive linemen sets you up to open a window for the playoffs.
Okay.
I
What do you
think
got?
the league has set that precedence.
Yes.
What,
I
do you,
agree.
what else you got in rumors of?
That's it. That's all I got. Anybody else got anything?
That's
Did I
it
miss?
for rumors.
That's it.
Anybody else hear
I
anything around the league,
I didn't,
guys?
I didn't make anything up this
I
week.
heard that they think Smith and Jigba is not a number one or a first round pick.
That's
Oh.
well, that's what I was just saying. Is he going to make it out of the first round?
I don't think he
so.
will. I mean, his talent is there. Somebody's
said
going to
that?
take him. I heard it on 92.3 The Fan driving in.
Oh, see, this is
Well,
why
that's
you
because
don't-
they won him
this
in the
is why
second
you
round.
Listen to
Yeah.
us. You don't listen to the sheep
Yeah, that's why I don't
on the
I-
radio.
I like Ken Carmen, but
You can make the argument, though, and here's how. It's a defensive draft.
Yeah.
It's heavily
Make the
defensive.
argument that it's a defensive draft and that teams want to build defense because they've been building offense.
Well, and if the conversation about Bijan Robinson comes up and he sneaks into the first round,
You saw
and
saw
he's going
all those
first.
teams
I
out
think
there
he's going to.
need those
Somebody will
teams
make a
were
mistake.
all needy wide receiver teams, right? This is a pass-driven league. To say that a guy like Smith and Jigba doesn't make it out of the first round, you're just creating controversy and clicks.
You're starting the pot.
That's clickbait.
we aren't
And I
click.
ain't
We
falling.
are not clickbait guys unless it's about our memes. That's about it.
I mean,
Jigba's I'm just saying you can make the argument and saying that there's defensive players out here that could help your team get to the playoffs next year.
But normally in drafts, sorry to cut you off, but
ahead.
normally in drafts when they are defensive heavy like that, you tend to
Get value.
You tend to get value where there isn't much value.
At
You-
wide receiver.
You let the defensive heavy stack, like for instance corner,
Right.
like you got like 4 or 5 good corners in this year's draft that
Yeah.
you're like, well, I
yeah, there's a
kind
bunch of good
are
corners.
very
Cut off.
similar with these guys here. I'm going to take a stab at a receiver because I'm not very sold on this receiving class or this running back class. I'm not saying that they're going to, but like,
Yeah.
just like tight ends, I wouldn't be shocked if you see a lot of interior linemen go
Yep, I think that. Yep.
early
Yeah.
because in tackles because it's not so sexy in
Who's-
this draft. So,
What do you think about Skoronski coming out of Northwestern?
oh yeah.
I love him.
well,
Big Pete.
I mean that's more
talked
off-season
about it.
talk.
Yes.
But
Yeah, we'll get
Well,
into it.
but
But
that's-
so
That's all I'm
here's my thing. This is for Kelly. I think last year's draft, I think it was 5 receivers in the first round.
You don't have that this year, I don't think.
You might have 3.
That's what I was.
Yeah, you might
probably
have 3.
3.
But
Max.
then on top of that, for Jimmy, I agree with him with the Will Levis top
Bless you.
quarterback.
Thank you.
Hey, a little breaking news. Tom Pelissero said that the Ravens interviewed Georgia's offensive coordinator Ted Monken.
That's
I
new.
didn't know Monken was available.
Because didn't the Ravens just interview somebody else defensively?
Yeah, from the Rams.
Style offense.
Yeah, the Rams.
The draft Stetson Bennett. He's like 35.
Their quarterback.
Stetson.
Well,
Bennett.
I guess you know what. Let's just move on to that next segment we got for the day, guys.
Yeah, we wanna do.
We're gonna jump in. We're gonna talk about this AFC North. We're gonna get into some divisional talks a little bit because I made a bold statement last week about the Patriots being first in that division, and there's nobody else behind them. And I did preface that this is prior to any quarterback movements for the Jets. Was my statement. Who wants to go for that first? Who wants to have that argument with me right off the rip?
Are you talking about as of right now?
You said
they are.
Yeah, I'm saying as of right now.
Okay, so pending free agency and all that.
So, I gotta change my stuff around a little bit. But
I think the Jets are going to get a quarterback and they're going to be competitive.
Who's that quarterback going to be?
Derek Carr. I strongly believe it's going to be Derek Carr. I think he fits that system.
I mean, yeah.
And
That's
Derek
one of the
Carr can
rumors.
pick.
What is
He
this?
can hand pick where he goes because.
No, he can't.
He has a no trade clause.
Right, that's why he's going to get cut.
Well, even at that, I mean, the Jets have the money to throw at him.
Oh my God! If he gets cut, the Steelers will pick him up.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, are you really going to want to go into that division
do the Jets
with Mike
really,
White
do the
and
Jets,
Zach Wilson?
Yeah, Rodgers. That's who I'm thinking.
No.
I think the Jets are going to.
Rodgers to the Titans.
Rodgers will.
See, you've been saying that for a minute. I hope not.
I can only
That's
see
where his
Rodgers going
career's gonna
somewhere.
Go to die.
I can only
Well,
see
that or
Rodgers
he doesn't
going
move.
somewhere where he is going to have veteran wide receivers to have
That
a
would be the
chance.
Jets.
Garrett Wilson is a
What do you
rookie
mean
who's their
veteran wide
one.
Receivers?
He's not going to want to go somewhere to build rapport with a rookie all over again.
It's
Who,
not,
Rodgers?
It's
Yeah.
not, you're talking about
USB.
one
Yeah,
guy.
that's the same thing I said Wednesday.
It's Garrett Wilson. He's got Corey Davis.
That's why.
But he needs to build.
Elijah Moore. He's up there
Elijah Moore.
too. He's good.
Corey
Veteran
Davis
receiver. That's
is the one.
2020.
Corey Davis
why
would be
my 1
who
year
I'd
is
He's got
consider
Brees
veteran.
Hall. He's got a pretty good offensive line there. There's a great defense there.
I'm not saying
I
that
gotta
all
be-
of
Why
them.
would he not want to go to New York?
Who doesn't want to go?
And
You
also,
could build an Aaron Rodgers face in New York.
Aaron Rodgers.
Jets.
Oh yeah,
Do they
and
have
he's a
the-
personality for the media. They would love him.
But do they have the picks to give up to get him?
yes,
What are their picks again?
I think they
I
have
know
two
they have
in the first.
13.
The funny thing is that
13, 44, 75, 112, 144,
I mean,
179.
From what they were saying, they want 2 first
Right,
round
they'll
picks
trade
for Aaron
next year's
Rodgers.
first.
24.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
just
there
trade
you go.
next
I
year's
don't.
first.
I don't
you
give
get-
up
if
2
you-
firsts for Aaron Rodgers. I'm
I
sorry.
trade Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
And my first. That's
Zach
it.
Wilson's there.
Look what
If
Russell Wilson went
let me
for.
let me give
have
you
no
this.
choice.
I talked to Ryan about this yesterday.
Zach Wilson
So
stays.
hold on.
Even the turmoil with
Hold
Salah.
on. I'll tell you and explain why.
Okay.
Yeah, Zach
If
Wilson.
Aaron Rodgers goes there, he already has a relationship with Zach Wilson. Aaron Rodgers is looking to play out the next 2 years of his contract and end his career. He doesn't want to
And
play.
with Hackett.
He doesn't want to play till he's 50. He likes Hackett. He wants a place to succeed.
Yeah,
and then
it
on
didn't
top
work
of
in
that,
Denver.
what?
It didn't work in Denver.
It doesn't mean there's
Yeah.
The only reason that
I
Rodgers.
Because it
agree
didn't
that
work somewhere else doesn't mean it can't work somewhere
I
else.
think the
Correct.
only reason you guys are saying Rodgers is because Hackett's there and they have a relationship.
Well,
I don't think he's
well,
going to
that's
go
what
there
everyone
because I
else is
don't think I'm not. If I'm the Jets, I'm not giving up 2 first round picks. He's too old.
Why? You're there. You're ready. It's
You
it's
wouldn't
only
give up
2
2
years.
first round
No.
picks for 1 Super Bowl?
It's
No.
only 2 years.
I don't think they're. Yeah, exactly. How many? How
But that's
much
not
has
the
he
thought
lost in the
process.
playoffs?
That's not the thought.
Bowman. Bowman.
But is it
How
because
many
of Rodgers?
excuses are we going to give him?
There's no point in trading anything for him. There's nothing.
You just say he's trash?
Yes.
Oh man.
Yes.
I
That's
agree,
a
Bo.
bold
You want
take.
a playoff winning
Clip.
quarterback? Go get one.
Go
He
get-
ain't won.
That is a bold
Look at his
take.
track record.
Okay,
He's not a
you
playoff winning
say
quarterback.
that, but we're talking. You said Derek Carr.
Yeah, you don't have. You don't have
He
to
is a
give up.
playoff
anything
winning
for
quarterback.
Derek Carr.
Right, thank
Yeah.
you.
What are you going to give up
Thank
for
you.
Derek Carr? You
He
said he's
only
going to be
loses in
cut,
the-
so you're not going to give up a first round
No, he's
pick.
not. He loses in the title game. That's it.
But that's
Man.
the thing. Like
He's
your
not
first round.
a Super Bowl,
I'm not buying. it.
Like guaranteed.
I'm giving
Look,
up
this guy's supposed to be the
first
best
round
quarterback in
picks.
the NFL.
Only if
How
it
many
only
Super
costs
Bowls
me
has he been
2.
to?
Hold on. One at a time.
But
Let,
yes.
let Bo finish his thing.
But that's not even the argument. The argument is that he is the guy to take you to that point. Every quarterback has losses. Every quarterback. If you think this is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, you don't argue his. I understand you arguing his playoff record. I get that.
That's the whole point of getting a
But my
quarterback
point
right
is,
now if you're ready
he
to win.
makes it to the title game almost every year with no wide receivers.
Not no
You're
wide
right,
receivers.
Jimmy.
He had wide receivers for he's been with them for what, 15, 16 years?
He's made
He only
all of his
had
wide receivers.
for about 3 years. He had Devonta Adams for how long?
He made
Number one
Devonta.
wide receiver? No wide receivers? Shut up.
He
dude.
made Devonta Adams. He made Jordy Nelson. He made Randall Cobb.
Devonta's the leading receiver with Derek Carr, who's one of the worst.
no,
He made Aaron Rodgers.
Derek Carr is not one of the worst quarterbacks.
So Jimmy says
Statistically,
that,
Derek Carr is averaging 4,500 yards a year
Getting re-signed. Why is Derek Carr not staying with the Raiders if he's so fucking good?
because they're not going to die on Derek Carr.
I think Derek
They don't want
Carr
to die on
needs-
Derek Carr.
Yeah, that's not. Josh
Devonta
McDaniels
Adams
already
is
came out
a
and said that's
dog,
not
and
his guy.
he made Aaron Rodgers look good, and that's why when he got traded, he still put up big numbers. Rodgers didn't.
I don't
Rodgers
think-
did put up big
Do you
numbers.
think Rodgers makes the
did?
playoffs?
Yeah, Rodgers threw
With the
for
Jets?
Did he make the playoffs?
Yes.
Going through Burrow, going through Allen, going through Mahomes.
He
still
went
had a-
7-10 with a quarterback carousel in Flacco, White, and Wilson.
So
Rodgers' playoff record is abysmal.
Jimmy says that if Rodgers goes to the AFC, he doesn't have to face the 49ers. Okay, but look at the
That's
AFC
how-
quarterbacks.
Just in the Super Bowl.
That's above 500.
Look at the AFC quarterbacks.
I
There's
got
no
two.
way he's
I
making
got
it.
two
I mean,
that
the
he might-
AFC quarterbacks are light years ahead of the
Okay,
NFC.
so name them.
Joe Burrow, Josh Allen.
You said light
Josh
years
Allen, he
ahead.
can beat Josh
Mahomes.
Allen. He can beat Josh Allen.
Patrick
'cause
Mahomes.
Josh Allen's got a terrible playoff record too.
Patrick Mahomes,
Josh Allen is.
Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow, the only two that I'll give.
Justin
I
Herbert.
just I
Josh Allen made me
don't
look stupid
see
last week.
Smashes Josh.
I
Josh
I
don't
have
see
that
it. I
thing
think
for
you're
you.
jeopardizing too much for
Justin
Herbert
what could
finally made
happen.
the playoffs.
All right, hold on.
I'd give up a
he made the
first round
playoffs
pick
his second year.
for Rodgers.
Wait,
The Goff.
I just
No,
I
he didn't.
can't
Yeah.
fathom
oh
giving
no,
up
they
two.
lost the,
Put that up there
the
real quick.
Raiders. You're right.
Trying to find a Super
I'm
Bowl.
putting,
There
I'm
he
putting
is.
the
Look
Jets
at
up
him.
there immediately with.
Oh,
Aaron
wow.
Rodgers.
2011 is the last time this guy's been to the Super Bowl.
There he is, guys.
Who?
Yeah,
Jared
I'm
Goff,
not disagreeing
a.k.a. Rodgers' dad.
That's not the argument.
Same
that
conversation.
You're saying take Rodgers,
Look at it.
trade 2 first-round picks, trade away your future because you're winning.
That's
now,
not your
and it's
future. That's not your
built-
future.
That's crazy to me.
now.
Jared
You're built
Goff.
to right.
It's this
With how
year's
close he
draft.
is with
Jonathan,
Allen, I
thank you for
told
that.
you.
First round.
That's not your
I
future.
love
No,
Allen,
you still
but
have a ton
I
of
told
picks
you he's
after
taking a
that.
step
And your
back
hope is to
since
develop Zach Wilson
McDermott.
behind Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, okay, so Aaron
You're telling
Rodgers
me that
playoff
a
career. He's
team is
11 and
made
10 in the
and
playoffs.
make
When's the
and
last
break a
time the
team?
Jets missed on their first-round pick?
A lot.
They missed?
Yeah.
When?
D. Milliner. Just to name one off the top of my head, they took him in the freaking top 10.
When was that?
And he's bagging groceries
Was that
right now.
4 years ago.
2015?
People miss all the time in the first round. That's why the Rams
Yeah, talk to us Browns fans.
trade away their first round picks because some people they value them more than other teams.
But look
And
at the
first-round
Rams
picks are
now.
such a gamble.
And you're not going to tell me that Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets with
The Rams are
with
in
Brees
cap
Hall.
They
hell.
have the
What'd you say?
offensive player
They're
of
in
the
cap
year
hell.
and the defensive player of the
Yeah,
year.
but
in
that's
Gardner
because of all the
and
first round picks
Wilson.
they traded and they won one
Okay,
Super Bowl
before
out of it,
that,
which I guess
Zach
if you want one
Wilson, they
Super
missed
Bowl,
on.
You sold.
I understand it.
But you're not gonna- Is the verdict still
You
out?
did what your goal was to win a
Becky
Super Bowl, and they
Betten?
did it.
Mackay?
I want to go back
Did they miss on
consistently
Mackay?
to the playoffs.
All right, let me get this squared back around because
Yeah, but
I'm not disagreeing that
Which
I'm not disagreeing
understand
that the
what you're
Jets.
saying,
Getting to
Ryan.
the playoffs sometimes just isn't good enough. Not nowadays.
Correct.
Adams was a big
We're
win.
having
Yeah, I
four
mean,
different
look at
conversations. All right,
Buffalo.
hold on,
They've
hold
made
on,
it
hold
how
on,
many
hold on.
years the playoffs and they haven't won crap.
Jamal Adams
So
was
I
a
get
huge
it.
with.
All I'm going to say, though, is the Jets have Brees Hall, who's going to come back off of injury. They still have Michael Carter. It's the same setup as the Green Bay Packers with a better defense.
With a way
And
better
you don't
defense.
think Aaron Rodgers is serviceably way better than Zach Wilson, Mike White, and Joe Flacco?
He is, but
The question was the value.
I don't want to give up two firsts.
So you're only offering 2 firsts for essentially to make it to the playoffs this year.
And
Essentially,
You
make
don't
it to
need
the
to.
Super Bowl.
You almost made it to the playoffs
If we're
with Zach
essentially-
Wilson. So don't trade away the
he
picks.
didn't-
they didn't
Don't
almost
trade
make
away
it.
the picks. And find that QB off free agency like Derek Carr.
They didn't almost make it to the playoffs
Ryan,
with Zach
sorry, I
Wilson.
can't hear you.
You don't have to pay. You could just give the guy the contract. You could keep your 2 first-round picks and keep the carousel churning. It's not. It's when you give up that future. I'm a Bears fan, bro. I'd give all of my picks back. I'd take all of my picks back to get this guy off of my team. Trubisky. To get whoever else I paid up for and all those things, give me those picks back and let me get some defense and offensive linemen. And that way, when I'm ready, we can do it then. If the Jets have already done that portion,
They have that.
right? And the Bears thought
The
they
Bears
had
do?
it too. And the Bears thought they had it.
No,
too.
the Jets did that.
Khalil
So-
Mack,
Yeah.
They thought they had it. Roquan, they thought they had it.
They
were
did
ready
have
to
it.
close.
They didn't have a
You-
coach.
No, four.
You want to be like the Niners.
They traded first-round picks, right, to go get the quarterback. Now, they thought that the quarterback was in the rookie draft class, and it turns out it wasn't, right? But you traded away those first. Now we have to do a rebuild and press the reset button 3-4 years later.
Well, that's because of coaching.
No.
But you're
the
saying you
Jets
want to
aren't
be
gonna
like the
have- they
Niners.
don't
You
have
want to
to
build up
rebuild yet.
everything else, then get the quarterback. Exactly.
That's it.
I mean, look what the Niners are
Yeah.
doing with Brock Purdy, which I completely
Just why are we able to go out
understand.
and get
That's a
Deshaun
different
Watson?
offense. That's a different offense,
Yeah,
different
that's-
system.
Did it with
That's-
Deshaun
I mean,
Watson.
every team has a different offense, but
But you're arguing for our point. The Browns did everything. They did the defense, they did the offense, and they went out and got Deshaun Watson.
40.
There was people talking about the Browns getting
Deshaun's
Aaron
26.
Rodgers when they signed Deshaun.
Yeah.
Deshaun's 26. He's not 40.
You're right. I'm going to take a guy who throws for 3,500 yards plus and doesn't turn over the ball more than double digits a season.
I agree.
That's the point. Is you got a guy who's going to pass the ball accurately, by the way. He's not going to turn it over and make risks, which is, by the way, Zach Wilson did all of that.
I mean,
And Mike White turned the ball over.
he's going to a much
Then
harder
he's gonna
division.
Go to the wild card game or be the pre-wild card game, week 18, and lose to a team like the Giants at home or the Lions at home. At home to get into the playoffs. He's going to choke, which is all he's done.
You're just calling him a choke artist. That's not all he's done. He won a Super Bowl. That's not choke artist.
2011
It takes a lot of
is the
talent
last
to
time
get
he's
there.
in a Super
11
Bowl,
years ago.
KJ?
It takes a lot of talent to get all the way there.
Okay.
When's the last time Tom Brady won a Super Bowl and he was the
I'll move
top
on.
leading
I
passer this
agree,
year?
Disagree. They put it in the chat what you think. I'm done with it.
I just,
But Derek
both
Carr
made our
doesn't give you
points.
that.
it's a harder
ability.
division.
You're
I
an
just,
Aaron
I
Rodgers
don't
guy,
know.
And congrats.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. I'm not an Aaron Rodgers guy. But to say Aaron Rodgers isn't worth
God.
2 firsts to
Ate
go
the
to the
hook.
Super Bowl this year?
He's not going to the Super Bowl. There's no proof of that pudding. He hasn't been there in 11 years. There's no proof in your pudding, bro.
They have had an injured offensive line for the last 4
Make all the
years.
excuses you want for Green Bay, bro. Make all the excuses you
That's
want.
not an
Johnny.
excuse.
Yes, it is.
That is not an
He
excuse.
hasn't been there in 10 years, 11 years, bro. What are you talking about? A playoff winning quarterback. He's not. Mahomes has done it in 5 years.
So who do you
more
think
than
should
he
land
has.
there? Who do you think should land there?
Who? Anybody that doesn't cost 2 first rounders.
Derek
Because the
Carr,
team's already
Jimmy G.
built to be successful.
Jimmy G,
whoever
isn't it?
lands there. You don't need a choke artist.
So you're saying anybody can be successful behind that team?
49ers.
It's
They are
different
the
offense.
49ers, bro.
Different offense.
No.
That's exactly what I'm saying. The Houston should do.
49ers
Build up everything
and the
else.
49ers.
I think Kyle
The
Shanahan
49ers.
is just he's a different breed.
You
I don't
guys
think
are
so.
saying that it's a win now ready team that just needs
Oh,
a
for
QB.
sure, Steve. I mean,
Yes.
he's in a league of his own. I
Yes.
feel like,
Okay,
that's
and
my
how
he's,
the 49ers
he
got
wins
the
the Super Bowl
exact
this
same
year.
way
He's
when Brock
above
Purdy
anybody
was
else
Mr.
right now
Irrelevant, could step
in the
right in
NFL.
and do it.
100%.
Because it's a different offense. It's set up to make quarterbacks succeed.
I mean,
That's a different offense, different scheme.
with a rookie
it's hard to
7th
argue
round
that. It's hard
pick.
to, I don't know, man.
They
It's-
throw the ball 20 times a game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's hard to argue that when
So
you
you're
can
saying
do
that
it with
the
a
Jets
guy.
couldn't do that.
They don't do
Mr.
that. I'm not saying they
Irrelevant.
couldn't. They don't do it. Anybody can coach the way Shanahan's coaching,
I mean-
but they don't because they don't believe in that way.
So my thought process is right because Flacco is Flacco and because he can do it. If they went and they got
Rodgers, I would never pay that much for Rodgers. No.
I'm in the same
Not
boat
even
as
his
Bo.
prime,
I don't
and
think
he's
2
past
firsts is that much.
what
I don't
about
think it is either.
what about
For an MVP quarterback?
He's
For
not
2 years,
for-
though. It's 2 years.
This is a quarterback-driven league.
I mean, how many first-round picks? So
get a
what
quarterback
exactly
that
did we
can
give
win
up for
the playoffs.
Watson?
3 firsts,
And what else?
3 firsts?
2/3, and a 4th.
I think
Okay,
so.
so and how
No, no,
many
no, no,
years is
don't
he under
compare-
contract
don't
for?
compare it to
No,
Watson.
he's just asking
no.
how much you
That's
gave
a
up.
26-year-old.
Yeah, no.
That's fine, but I'm saying
comparing-
contract. I'm not
Wilson.
saying age.
Yeah.
I'm saying contract. How many years does Watson have left on his
I
contract with
don't
us?
even know if I do Wilson.
He has 4 years now.
Yeah, because Russell.
Okay,
Wilson
so
would be
4
the
years
closest
compared to
he's ever-
Rodgers with 2 years, and Rodgers is going to a harder division, the AFC East.
Give me Baker Mayfield in the Jets offense.
No, he's a choke artist.
I don't. You know what? Guess what, dude? Yeah, I'd rather have the upside potential with the weapons that you talked about in a team that's ready.
He's
and a
had
guy-
weapons and he's never been able to do it.
Yeah, he has.
No, he has.
He
One
had
year.
Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry.
One
went to the
year.
playoffs. He probably went to the playoffs when Aaron Rodgers didn't.
He
make
had
the playoffs.
Carolina with Christian McCaffrey.
He made the.
He didn't
playoffs
do
with
it
the
there. He
team.
couldn't win games there. He went over to LA, won 1 game.
with the Rams, I'd take Baker Mayfield. I'd take Sam Darnold.
Oh wow. Okay, hold on.
Quit taking those are ultimate choke artists. Those are ultimate choke artists.
I can't. Okay.
Now you're just stirring the pot.
You were making a legitimate point. Oh.
I take Jacoby Brissett.
No,
I would take Jacoby because he's not risky.
Geno
I could see Jacoby. Gino,
would
no,
take
I think
would take
Gino
Gino,
is,
but Gino's
is
gonna
the
sign
product
him
of
to the
Pete
Jets.
Carroll.
Gino's going back to Seahawks.
Yeah, Gino is a product of Pete Carroll. He's been good
Hey, give me Heineke.
1 year. And do you
Heineke.
I actually don't hate that one.
I'm not. So
do
I'm
you
not
think Gino goes back to
disagreeing.
the team that
point
drafted
is
him
that
and
you can
gave up on
Jets?
him?
No.
Exactly. He's not gonna go back.
And win. They couldn't do it with Wilson because Wilson's god awful.
Which one's a proven regular season quarterback? Which one's gonna get you to playoffs almost guaranteed?
Jimmy G.
Let's
play this game.
Let's play
Hold on.
Hold on.
You
That's
just
an excuse.
lost your wife when you said Darnold and Baker, just to let you know.
Uh-oh.
So hold on.
He lost the whole chat when he said Darnold.
Let's do this. Let's play this game.
Daniel
Okay.
Jones.
So would you rather
Daniel
have?
Jones is resigning.
Hey, would you rather?
We're
Stop.
information.
Listen to me. Would you rather have Aaron Rodgers or Sam Darnold on your team? Doesn't matter the
Aaron
cost.
Rodgers.
Doesn't matter. Aaron
Okay.
Rodgers. Okay.
It doesn't matter the cost.
I mean, those are two completely different of the
Because the
spectrum.
Jets-
Point is the
hold
cost.
on.
The point is, the Jets have already said it doesn't matter the cost. They're willing to spend.
They did
big
come out
this
and say that.
So they're saying the best QB available, right? Going.
And if Aaron
moving
Rodgers is
forward or
available,
right now.
and them going after Nathaniel Hackett has already shown that they are interested in going after Aaron Rodgers this
Did
offseason.
you guys see that meme? Did you see that meme?
Is that what that shows?
Did you
Are
guys see
sure
that
that's-
meme?
I think that's exactly what.
That Nathaniel Hackett only gets jobs
But
because
I'm
he's a
saying
friend of Aaron
all
Rodgers.
Those quarterbacks that you just
Stop.
Right,
mentioned,
which
Baker
is the
Mayfield,
whole reason
Sam
why
Darnold.
everyone's talking about him
Hold
going
on,
to the
hold on.
Jets.
Hold
Who
on,
would you rather
everyone.
have?
Hold
My
on.
bad.
Ryan, hold
Do
on.
you know
Repeat
who
that
it is?
question. Hold on.
Best quarterback available?
Oh.
Lamar
Tom
Jackson.
Brady.
Lamar Jackson.
Tom Brady,
Lamar
UFA.
Jackson
Lamar
isn't
Jackson.
available.
Tom Brady's a UFA.
I
He's
wish.
a free agent. They didn't re-sign him all last year. Get the fuck rid of him, bro. He's not yours. He's done. He's out there. He's the Jets.
Double boil and
Lamar?
trouble.
No.
Oh.
Collagen
They've
burn and
already-
fire
they've already
bubble.
done it.
They can pay him.
Excuse me? Best quarterback available, Ryan.
The Ravens have already
They're
came out
willing
and
to
said
pay.
that they're
That's the best running back.
franchise-tagging
That's the
Lamar
best
Yeah,
Jackson.
I don't think he plays under
So
the franchise
guess what?
tag.
Guess what? You're right. He may not.
He may
but
get injured
he's going to
again.
cost a lot more than Aaron Rodgers.
Probably get injured again.
He'll cost a lot more than Aaron Rodgers.
Man.
Yeah, he will.
Oh, yeah, he will,
wants
100%. He's gonna
200 million
cost more.
guaranteed. He'll cost a hell of a lot more than
He
Aaron
does
Rodgers.
cost a lot
And there
more.
goes signing
And guess
Garrett
what?
Wilson.
He
There
ain't
goes
won a
signing.
Super Bowl ever. So
Lamar's a winner. I'll take
suck
a
on
winner.
them
No,
cranberries.
I'm taking-
Harbaugh's a good coach.
Yeah, he is a good
I
coach.
just think it's hard bringing in Rodgers now because
No,
you
we're
have
not
to
doing
go
this. We're not
through-
doing Lamar today. We're
All
not
right,
doing
so
Hold on,
So
moving.
one last thing
Oh,
with
shit.
that is that his
No.
dead cap hit is 99 mil.
Who?
Rodgers.
Yeah.
So he's not going anywhere. The Green Bay's not going to eat
That's not
99
true.
million.
He can
I
still
looked
get
at it
traded.
spot check right now.
They can sell the
I
contract.
think you're putting yourself in the grave if you go after
Cooper
Rodgers
Rush.
with two
I-
firsts.
As much as I like
So,
Rodgers, I
Bo,
agree.
Give me your ranks for the AFC
not
North
that
next
much.
year, or the AFC East next year.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's do that.
AFC
Let-
East.
let-
AFC East
You
rank
have Rodgers for 2
for next
years.
year.
Hold on. Let's get off
Quarterback
Rodgers.
aside, I made the statement that the Patriots are the best team in that division next year right now with coaching.
Yeah.
Quarterback aside, because there's no quarterback changes right now.
Yeah.
That the Patriots are going to be first in that division. That I put the Jets at 2.
Bills
No, I
healthier.
put Miami at 2.
Bills
Jets.
healthier, the best team. Bills healthier, the best team. If
I have Pats at 4.
As the roster stands today, or are you talking about the future roster?
I'm talking as of right now. There's no changes on that roster.
Oh,
right?
as of right now, okay.
Bills healthy, best team in the AFC East. Period.
On the Bills roster? Well, right now,
Bills healthy.
that's not going to be
Yes.
the same team.
That's
next year.
including current coaching changes.
I don't know what you're trying
Bill
to create.
O'Brien, I'm saying. That's
Okay.
He's
it.
his big thing is Bill O'Brien got
If we're
added
going off
in
of
New York,
right
New
now,
England.
The way the roster is, this is how it is. This is how it played out.
Yeah.
yeah, but no, Bill O'Brien's there now.
I mean, how much
don't
is
give
going
a
to
shit.
change?
No, that's
What are
my
you talking
point.
about
Is
right now?
Bill O'Brien changes? You tell me
do you
Patricia
know?
doesn't make the Patriots worse at OC?
I mean,
How do you know that? Bill O'Brien.
We
had
all have
his
seen Bill
chances.
O'Brien's history as a top 5 offenses everywhere he's coached.
Okay, but have they won?
I think
Yes.
he's had more talent though.
In the
than
regular
Kelly,
season, they've won.
get
And
better
off
quarterbacks.
Lamar. We're not doing
Playoffs.
Lamar right now.
When he had Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, they won there too.
You're right. He had
Kelly, don't do
Deshaun-
it.
He had DeAndre
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
And Deshaun Watson.
Right.
And he had a unbelievable
So top
defense
talents.
with Clowney and J.J. Watt and Brian Cushing,
Chicken and egg.
But he was the head coach.
Tyrann Mathieu.
He was the head
Chicken and
coach.
egg. I love chicken.
That's
and egg
where you have
talk.
the
And all he's gotta do is
conversation
be the
of
OC at a top 5
who's
offense.
helping who? Who's helping who, Bo? Is where you have the conversation.
All I'm saying is,
Oh, boy.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and that's how I would rank them.
Yeah, if we're not changing anything, but
So you're
we're
still
adding Bill
ranking him. You're
O'Brien.
still ranking him at 3
I'm ranking
behind
him-
Miami with an
I would
injured Tua.
do
Yes.
Miami 1, Bills 2, Jets 3, Patriots 4.
Miami did beat the Bills twice this year, I think.
But the Jets can't do it with the
I
quarterbacks
said
that
best
they
roster.
have.
No, Miami.
Yeah,
I
we're
said best roster.
Miami won, I think, once against the Bills.
You said healthy. You said healthy.
I said best roster.
Well, I said record.
Yeah.
When you're ranking the teams for next year, who do you think's going to have the better record?
That's a fact, Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh man, this is
I
gonna
think
get good.
that
Hold on, Kelly's got a good point
The
there.
team that makes the
I can.
least,
I very well can.
the teams that make the least amount of mistakes is New England.
This guy's a Patriots fan over here.
Are you saying that that's their number one need? Is wide receiver?
Who? For
It kind of is.
the Ravens? Or, oh,
He's
no.
a free
Because
agent this year.
because of injuries right now.
Who's a
too.
free agent?
Jacoby Myers is a free agent this year.
Do you think they get Smith? Would they have go after
They don't
Smith and
draft-
Jigba?
They don't draft wide receivers. They, don't get them.
He's a trench guy. He drafts trench guys.
Trench and defense. He likes linebackers, and he keeps the good players on his
I
roster.
mean, who's free
He
agent wide?
handles them
We have to look
correctly.
at. See, this.
They do it the Patriot way. It's that they're not going to overpay for positions that are a dime a dozen.
How many years have you heard that? You've heard that forever.
You know what I'm? They're not.
And
gonna
he paid
overpay
for Mac Jones.
for talent. Period.
He paid for Mac.
That was the Mac Jones was the first player they paid up on since.
Well, doesn't that say something?
Who was the quarterback before
Yeah,
Brady?
he believes in Mac Jones, even though Bailey
paid
Zapp
Mac Jones-
a bazillion
Bailey Zapp
dollars.
outshined the
Off
shit
the
out
top
of him
of my
last
head,
year.
I want to say this is accurate. Off the top of my head, Mac Jones' rookie year threw for 3,800 yards and 28 touchdowns.
I don't know. I don't have to. You want me to?
Patricia with him, he had less than 3,000 yards. I think he had like 16 touchdowns.
No, he was screaming at Patricia, "Run the damn
Yeah,
ball!"
I think that if the Dolphins can be, they need Robinson or
Yeah, they need a true
need healthy
running back,
Tua.
a true running back, and healthy. That's any team need healthy quarterback.
Whoa. A true running back. You talking about Stevenson?
No. I'm talking about Miami. Miami.
That can be a
That offense, you look at what that offense did, they could be, right? But they were so 1-2, even though they both have like six knees between the two of them. They had to have surgery done. They looked good.
It's hard basing all this because we have free agency coming up. I mean, it's hard just saying, this is how I think it'll play as of now. But how
3,800
long does that last? I mean, I think this is a better conversation for off-season when we have
Mac Jones,
signings.
3,800.
This is an
But I
off-season
But
conversation.
Miami.
But I can see.
Here's the problem that Miami.
I can see where
We're in
you're
the
coming
offseason.
from.
This is off-season
But
for
here's
most
the
of us.
problem that Miami had. They went on the road and played 4 games in a row. Speaking of which, like the Chargers, they played the 49ers, like playoff teams on the road at their turf, cross country.
Miami's legit. They just they're
and it was a tough break for them at the wrong time because they were 8-8 at that point, and then they lost.
And they-
they
I
were
mean,
on a
and they-
losing streak.
All right, so
Go ahead.
I'm going to give you guys a quick one, right?
Eating moldy
'Cause
cheese.
you
Jimmy.
guys should know this by now, and I'm sure you
Tough
do.
break. They could, that,
So
that's a great coin flip.
Buffalo plays the Bengals, Kansas City, the Chargers, the Eagles, and the Commanders all away next year. Miami plays
so 2 and 3.
the
right there.
Ravens, Kansas City, the Chargers, the Eagles, and the Commanders
But they're in the same division, so they're all going to play the
all
same
away next year.
No.
Well, no, that's not always
It's not
true.
sort of like
Who
close.
gets the
to.
home
Yeah.
games? Does New England get the home games?
That was Miami. No, New England might have a harder schedule. They play the Dallas Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Raiders, the Giants, and the Steelers all away next year.
That's harder than.
It might be.
I don't.
You don't think those defenses are harder than
Can't go into other divisions. Keep
they
going.
might be? And then the Jets play the Browns, the Cowboys, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Giants all away next year.
So the Jets have one of the easier schedules.
Yeah.
Well, they're the I think they're the fourth place team, right?
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have the easiest.
They should.
Patriots are product of the third place schedule, obviously.
Correct.
Bills are screwed because they have a first place and they take a step back.
Yeah,
That's the reason I have Miami.
On prime time.
Miami,
All the games are gonna be on
Bills,
prime time.
And the
Every-
turmoil of that
Jets,
roster is going to be
Patriots.
awful.
play up to the Bills level because it's all Josh Allen.
It's going to be DeMar. It's going to be more DeMar stuff.
Hey, I'm a Josh Allen
Fake
fan,
ass
but
videos.
I'm the first to.
Can't.
I'm
They
Oh God.
But that's
No, we're not talking tomorrow. We are not talking
that's
tomorrow.
another
We are
reason.
not doing this.
That's another
No.
reason why I
Don't
would
eat the hook.
That's another reason why I would have the Patriots where they are is because of who they're playing away. They can beat those teams
I'll
away.
eat it every damn day.
So
Oh no.
that's all I'm saying. And,
Ryan
and,
likes.
and I still haven't gotten a ranking for you guys next year.
Ryan likes. the word.
You said Bills still.
All right, so I would probably do.
If teams are as is,
That's the question.
It's not
I've
essentially
asked
as
that.
is with the coaching changes and where the rosters stand right now. Like Tua's still unhealthy.
yeah.
So like
Miami's
so are the
taking
Bills.
last.
so Miami's probably last if without Tua.
Okay.
Mm.
Unless they go get a quarterback, but
Well, and then you have to put the Jets at 3 then
I'm gonna get-
because of the quarterback.
And that's
because
why
of the
I'm
way the
saying that.
roster's
I'm gonna get
comprehensive.
dragged.
And then you have to go. I think that heads up, New England
You have
has
Jets
the
at
Bills
1,
number.
Steve?
I'd go New England 1 and Bills 2.
Yeah, they're quarterback
'Cause
away.
New England has the Bills number.
Yeah,
It's Bill
but yeah,
Belichick.
so this
They're
is-
gonna run the
that's what I
ball.
would say,
They're gonna
going-
stop their
if
defense.
they're
They're going to
QB
limit
away. Yeah.
turnovers. They're going to create turnovers, and they're going to run the ball, and they're going to beat the Bills. So the way it's structured today, absolutely.
that's why that's why I'm saying that, especially with the Bill O'Brien change, is because the offense now gets better. And they almost made it to the
I
playoffs
don't
this
care.
year.
The Bill Bryan factor is a non-issue here because
Really?
it's the only reason it's a non-issue
Yeah.
is because there's no proof that they have that Bill O'Brien makes that big of a difference yet. There will be
Maybe
evidence.
on that team, correct.
Because the first thing
Oh,
that
but-
happens.
so this
is
is
the
an
offensive
on-paper argument,
coordinator gets
okay.
switched. The second thing that happens is the QB. That's the next thing in line.
That's not a-
because that's Billy Zappi. After the offensive
Bailey,
coordinator,
Bailey, not Billy.
yeah, whatever. Billy Bailey. So after the initial offensive coordinator gets switched, then it's can the quarterback produce my offense? No, he can't. Okay,
Yeah.
then we're gonna switch the quarterback, right?
So
And then
you're
once we
is
switch
that
the quarterback,
is that what you're saying for
carousel.
the Ravens then?
that's what we're. I don't think so. No, the Ravens are completely different.
It's the same concept. They have a quarterback. They went out and got an OC. The Ravens have a quarterback. They're trying to go get an OC.
No, the difference in that one is that that there's not an offensive coordinator coming back to the Ravens that had been there previously that has already have a correlation with the head coach, right, or a relationship with the head coach. These guys have.
Wouldn't
already
that
have a
work in
relationship.
favor of keeping your quarterback because you know the guy could solve
No,
your
you
quarterback?
can get a different quarterback because you already know that the head coach and the OC are on the same page.
Roman should have been fired long ago. I feel.
So
like.
that's where you would
Oh,
that's where that would
Jesus.
go for you.
What do you
Well,
think,
because
Ryan?
Mac Jones will have the ability to prove himself
going
worthy of being.
I'm staying quiet.
Someone's eating the
Okay.
hook. All
Okay.
right. So wait, what are your rankings, Bo? Top bottom.
He said it. He
I got
said-
New England 1.
Yeah, New
Bills
England.
2.
Okay.
Jets 3.
Yeah.
Dolphins 4.
Oof.
As they stand today.
That's
Right.
it.
But it's a coin toss every single game that heads up.
And that was to me that was a bold statement to take because it's so early. We don't know the roster changes. We don't know the quarterback switches.
Yeah.
We don't
I mean,
know the
Diggs is
offseason.
gone, right?
I'm saying with the Bill O'Brien hire, that's why I said it when I said it.
Diggs is gone, right? Everyone saw that.
Diggs is going. Well, he might be. Yeah.
Diggs ain't going nowhere. He's
he
making
left
$44 million.
Vikings.
Yeah. There we go. Wheeler, what are you? What are your grades here? Where are you ranking them?
Miami, Bills, Jets, Patriots. As of right now,
Miami 1, Bills 2, Jets
So you got
3,
Teddy
Patriots
Bridgewater
4.
taking Miami the first place?
No.
Tua.
Oh, Skylar Thompson. You're
No,
right.
Tua.
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar
As of right
Thompson
now,
almost
Tua's
did.
on
Tua's still under concussion protocol. He can't even play a game.
He can play a game.
Tua's under contract,
He
though,
can
isn't
play
he?
a game with a concussion.
Yeah.
They've proven that.
Yeah, they proved that multiple times this
Yeah.
year.
The dude looked like he was typing on a keyboard,
Oh,
and there was no
man.
keyboard there.
Oh no.
All right, Ryan. Give me your rankings, Ryan.
Exactly how it ended.
Oh god.
So you still got
Bills,
Bills 1,
Dolphins,
Miami
Patriots, Jets.
2. Even with Skylar Thompson, Mr. I hate Skylar.
He,
Yeah, I mean, it's still the Dolphins. I think that they can win with anybody at quarterback because it's a run first team.
But they didn't win with anybody at
the
quarterback.
Dolphins are a run first team?
Yeah. Well, they did pass a lot.
They
I
had
will
two
give-
receivers
they're
for
pretty balanced.
2,500 yards.
Now that I
Play
think about
action.
it, they're balanced. They run off the play action
Play
quite
action.
a bit. Yeah. But they
That's
run,
why
they
those
run
running
that,
backs
they run
work
that
so well in that
Shanahan
system.
offense.
I feel
right.
bad. Tua should have been a right-handed guy.
Steve,
They run those hezzy routes.
I'm telling you, my favorite quarterback for that team is Derek
Lance.
Carr.
I think Derek Carr would
Miami?
smoke
Yeah.
it up over
Yeah.
there. Oh, my
Kelly
God.
would-
I like
Whatever.
that too.
Hold
we'll
on.
see next year, Kelly. Go ahead,
It's
Steve.
going to take a lot off of the shoulders of Derek Carr if he goes there.
No, I see. I can't get with that, Kelly. They throw it downfield. The Niners don't. I don't know.
No, they're a yak team. No, they're a
definitely
yak
yak.
team because I think
Absolutely.
Tyreek Hill is like 11 yards after the catch.
I don't know. I saw him bomb it to him a lot too.
Yeah, but how
He
many times
averaged
did
he
stop?
averaged 20 plus.
How many
like
times
his
did he have
air
to
yards were
stop,
like
though?
20 plus.
Then that's not
to get the ball
Niners.
come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Imagine if Derek Carr was in that. Like he throws a pretty deep ball. Derek
can.
Carr's got a nice deep ball.
He can play.
Who would you take
Still
right now,
great
Derek
Jets.
Carr or Tua?
Well, Tua's
Derek Carr.
dead.
Steve.
Tua's pretty much in the
Steve, give me your rankings. Let's go.
Tua retired.
Let's go.
week
Come on.
You
six.
tired of talking about it?
Well, because we're going to talk about the 49ers when we talk about the damn 49ers.
Yeah,
like,
I
we're
know.
going to talk about.
I'm not talking about 49ers right now.
What?
Chat was talking
I
about
know.
the 49ers.
We started talking about yak, and we started turning it around. We started talking.
As is teams as is right now. No changes, no loss of contracts, none of that garbage. It's I mean it's Bills. It's Bills. I can't put Dolphins at 2. It's Patriots at 2. Jets Dolphins.
I do.
And I say Dolphins at 4 because they don't have a quarterback right now. That's it.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, for sure, Jimmy. He gets overhated.
What is he talking about?
That he said that he gives Ryan props for giving Derek Carr some praise because he's overhated. which
Ryan
I
hates Derek
completely
Carr
I
just
don't
as
hate
much.
Derek Carr.
He
I
hates
don't
him.
hate
That's
Derek
that's
Carr.
fallacy.
Derek Carr is Aaron Rodgers. He put up. He did exactly what Aaron Rodgers did with Devontae Adams
Okay, then why would you?
and Hunter Renfro.
Then why should the Jets go after Aaron Rodgers over Derek Carr?
I don't disagree.
cost him.
I think they
not
can. I think Derek Carr could do the same thing for the Jets.
Yeah, but you don't give up two first-round
to
picks.
get him.
But you got to know
just-
recognition though. You have to understand recognition. Who has been proven more in the playoffs, and it's not Derek Carr.
Yeah,
And it hasn't been Rodgers much either. He's won one Super Bowl, and what's his playoff record?
He's 11.
Rodgers still
11
takes teams to the NFC title.
11
But he
and 10 in
can't
the
win.
playoffs.
He
11
can't
and
win the
10 in
NFC title.
playoffs.
12
What
and
you
10.
think he's going to win an
11 and 10.
AFC title with
said
these
12 and 10.
quarterbacks?
Per Pro Football Reference, it's 11 and 10 in playoffs.
The NFC is a much easier division as of right now per quarterback than the AFC. You think he's going to win an AFC title and go to the Super Bowl? There's no way. There's no way.
With that defense, I mean, I think
You do realize he's played in one of the hardest divisions in the NFC, right?
No, that is not the
we
hardest
say that?
division. It's not.
The
no.
Bears have not been good
No, the
for
Bears
a while.
haven't been
and
good.
I-
There's always the
When's the last
last
time the
team.
Bears were good?
There's always the last place
The
team.
15
Lions
years
have
ago?
been just dead carcasses for what, 10 years?
And the Vikings have been consistently mid.
easiest places.
The Vikings have been consistently
They've been
mid.
frauds.
and Jared Goff did what to
Exactly.
Rodgers
So
this year?
I mean,
he
no,
made
the
him call
AFC
him
East is a
Daddy.
much harder division than the NFC East. Or the NFC North.
NFC North, if you guys want it, okay? Adrian Peterson was there.
Yeah.
Best running backs, period.
They have Dalvin Cook now.
Dalvin Cook was always there. You had the Bears with Matt Forte for a while.
I just wanted to
I
touch
miss
you.
That was a
Forte.
thing.
You've been so
You
quiet.
had
I hate
Alshon
this.
Jeffrey and
let
Brandon
people
Marshall.
talk, man.
You had Calvin Johnson,
KJ.
arguably the best wide
CJ.
receiver playing that division.
God, I wish their defense was any
I'm
good.
just
They would have
saying,
done
like,
something.
Just no other team. They couldn't put it all together. Don't forget that the Vikings didn't make the playoffs before Justin Jefferson got there. Like they did, and with Brett Favre.
Yeah, they had the
underneath their
miracle.
tutelage.
They had the miracle
That's what I'm
catch
saying.
or whatever.
I'm throwing out there like Mississippi boy, right?
Taking shots. He's taking shots over here.
But I'm trying to see.
Hey, Johnny, we're gonna move off this
What
AFC.
is your rankings?
Anyway.
I told you my rankings.
Yeah, they're wrong.
I'm
New
right with
England,
Bo.
Bills,
I'm
Jets,
right with
Miami.
Bo on this. I actually put the Bills at 3 because they are losing so much with the free agency already.
We said as is. We said as is.
That is as is. These guys are no longer under
Oh my
contract.
God! Then the Bills are last for me.
Poyer's
You said
no
as
longer
is.
under contract.
No. Bills are last for me then.
But
Bills
no,
are dead last.
That's as is. These guys are no longer under contract.
I don't think Carr's trash, Dan. I take Carr over Tua today.
Carr is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and I'll say that as is.
He gets overhated just like Josh Jacobs. It's something about that team.
We got Mahoney. Hello, buddy.
Oh,
Dan, who would
wait
you
to
take?
show
He's a
up
Miami
after
fan.
the
He's a
argument.
Miami fan. Hold on,
Dan,
real
who
quick.
would you take
Do you think Tua's going to play next year? Yes or no? Real quick. Hurry up.
Kelly,
we got to talk about that
what
real quick. He's a Miami fan. He's the only Miami fan. we
I'm
have.
not moving the goalposts, Jimmy. Shut up.
Who is moving goalposts?
You talk to these
Would you
people way
take-
too
No,
much.
he said no. He said Tua doesn't play. he
So
thinks.
would you take
Oh,
Derek Carr
shit.
out of Miami right now?
We'll move past this in a minute.
Would
I'm
I
sorry.
take Derek Carr? I would take Derek Carr to Miami. I'd take Tom Brady to Miami. I would take Aaron Rodgers to Miami. I would take
Tom
anybody
Brady.
that would throw the ball in Miami to Miami.
You know what kills me about Tom Brady? He looks so fragile this year. He tried
he did
so
get
hard.
divorced.
Still threw for 5,000 yards.
He
almost.
did. He threw a bunch, but he still looked so mid.
His O-line was hurt.
So what? He
So-
still threw it. He
Yeah,
still
but
had a good
he's
defense.
50. He can't be taking the hits he used to take.
And but he
well,
still
he didn't take hits. Sorry, I
Rather take
apologize.
Brady
Tom
or
does
Lamar
need to
Jackson.
retire, Jimmy. He
Ooh.
should have retired
What,
after
Bo?
the Super Bowl.
No, then I'm just thinking of
right.
the best
We can move on when you're ready.
the best tight end for Tom Brady to play with.
Rob
'Cause, like,
Gronkowski.
Or you talking about like could be next year?
Did you hear that video that he
Ooh.
tried to recruit Tony Gonzalez after he retired?
Did
he really?
He goes, hey, you want to go
Tony-
play some catch? And there was 5 recruits
that's all you
around
have
him,
to do.
and Tony Gonzalez showed up, played some catch,
Tom
and then at
Brady-
the end, the guys surrounded him, and he's like, so what do you think about coming back?
No, this is
and
this
then
is good, Dan.
Tony Gonzalez just realized it.
Jimmy D doesn't have that arm, dude.
Mahoney, would you be willing to give up potentially 3 to 4 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson,
Get
plus
the
give up
flock out of here.
$250 million contract?
I'd
Why
him
would
my
you give up
left
3 to 4
nut.
first-round picks for Lamar? He's a free
Jackson.
agent.
Listen,
No, he's not. They've already said he's going to be tagged. Therefore, he cost you.
you are kidding me.
You're
Capital.
they
There
can't
is
afford him.
0% chance he's worth 4
He's not
first-round
worth
picks.
3
They
first-round
can't
He's
picks.
afford
not
Lamar
worth 2
anyways.
first-round picks.
Look what Russell Wilson went for.
They can't
Look what
afford Lamar
Deshaun
anyways.
Watson went for.
Hey,
Deshaun
Tyreek.
Watson threw for 5,000 yards and still ran for 500. That's worth 3 firsts.
I don't know.
I
So
see
you're
now
saying
that.
Lamar Jackson isn't
No.
anywhere? He doesn't sniff his ass.
No.
No.
You guys are fucking high.
No, you're
Jared Goff
high.
has
I
had
might
more
be.
passing
Don't judge
yards
me.
than Lamar
You
Jackson
guys
every year.
Are high.
Every year, Jared Goff has had more passing yards than Lamar Jackson.
It doesn't.
Lamar Jackson is.
Lamar Jackson isn't all about passing.
You're right,
Why
you're
is
a
it always
quarterback.
But you
brought
said
up
it's a
about
passing
for Lamar
league.
Jackson?
You said
Oh,
a
no.
It
couple
is a
minutes
passing
ago.
league.
I didn't
Okay,
want
then
to
I want a
Makes it
passing
work.
quarterback.
He makes it work. Does he not? He gets to the
Well,
playoffs.
when's the last time
don't
he
win
finished the
playoff
season?
games.
He hasn't finished a season in 2 years.
In
yet.
2 years. Just 2 years.
Okay, that's 2 years.
He's
for-
only played
that's
4
2
years.
That's 2 years.
So half his career, he hasn't finished the play or
Kelly,
hasn't
I
finished the
tried.
season.
I tried
He
so
made
He
hard.
it.
hasn't finished the
Oh,
season.
no.
He dominates.
I'll give a
when he's on
second
the
round
field.
pick for
Not
Lamar
playoff.
Jackson. I'll give a second round pick for Lamar Jackson.
You're
Now that's antagonism.
Oh,
now
oh,
that's
God.
antagonism.
Oh, God.
And that's why I introduced him as the antagonizer today.
That's why I'm the antagonizer.
Guys, pull it back, pull it back.
Eat
Hey,
the hook.
you know,
Eat
since
the
we
hook.
got
Love you,
people
Ryan.
hyped up, we're gonna calm down. Hey, jump into that meanwhile, will you?
All
Oh my
right.
God. A second round.
Ryan, do you hate me?
If you actually,
Hey,
if you
let
actually
Johnny
think
speak.
he's
Let
only
Johnny
worth a
speak.
second
Let
round
Johnny
pick,
speak.
No,
Hold on,
I'm just
hold on.
I'm stirring the pot.
Hold on.
I'd
Might
give
have
up
mute
a
him.
first for Lamar.
No, we're not mute. Oh my God.
I'd give up one first for Lamar.
All right, go ahead, Johnny.
This is so good.
So the first one
I
is
can't even respond
is
to that.
Buffalo blowing their chance because they forfeited and gets the number 3 seed.
Second round pick.
But it was for
DeMar.
DeMar, so it works. And then the other one is Shaq already knowing Michael Thomas's game. You can't fool me. I'm familiar. So because he was out half the year.
And he restructured and he
Yeah.
extended.
Yeah, he was out half the year with his
man.
knee issues because Jameis Winston wasn't playing.
No,
I don't
it
blame
was his,
him.
It was his ankle again.
No.
No.
Jameis Winston wasn't playing.
So
He wasn't coming back until Jameis Winston. Then when they set Jameis Winston out, he never came back.
Yeah.
Man.
It was a Jameis Winston thing.
For DeMar. Oh, shit.
All right, so I
so
got these guys
bad.
worked up. We're gonna do one
Oh
other
my
thing since
God.
we jumped into our segments. Johnny, let's jump into they mean well, and we'll get these guys worked up some more.
My blood pressure's a little high.
we just did. They
We
mean
just
well.
did.
Oh, sorry. guess that player.
Did we
Guess
just-
that
Did you
player.
have a stroke?
Okay, I'm
Give
still
us-
laughing in my head. I'm still laughing.
That's
Sorry.
my stroke.
Jump in and guess
Lewis.
that player, will you?
That meme looks like wheels. You gonna mute us real quick?
Yeah, he's still trying to get that timing
You gotta
down.
do it now. Guess that.
All right, guys, this is career stats. You got games played on the left, 51. Total receiving yards, 32-30. Targets, receptions, 340 to 223 for receptions.
Active.
Catch percentage, yes. 65.6. Touchdowns, 26. Average yak, 9.8. Games played on the right, 60. Total receiving yards, 44.91. Targets, receptions, 440 to 273. Catch percentage 62%, touchdowns 35, average yak 6.3 yards. You guys have any? And these are both receivers in the NFL, and
Debo and Tyreek.
And they both came in the same draft.
Debo and Tyreek.
I don't think they were in the same draft.
I think Debo's got, or Tyreek's got more yards.
Tyreek has more yards this year.
CD and T. That's their two. They haven't been in the league that long.
Well, you know, Tyreek got that 1,500 yards, and then he just shut down.
He did. It was crazy.
No,
Well,
T's
you know
only
why?
been in for
Because Tua shut
4
down.
or 3.
His
This will
brain.
be his fourth, I
He
think.
mentally stopped.
So
The guy on the left has more injuries. The targets to receptions, 223 divided by 16 is what?
well, 217s and 216s.
440 divided
Did I say they've been in the league for 4 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 years in the league, they got that many.
Ryan comes in to guess this one last because he might get it right off.
Both receivers. See, Debo and Lockett. Lockett's been in the league longer than 4 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys came in the same
I got
draft.
Debo left.
Debo DK. Debo DK.
Yeah, I think you just want to say weird words.
Yeah, Debo DK.
That's. I mean, I think it's Debo DK.
There you go.
Which one would be DK to you?
9.8 average.
On the
right.
on the right. Because Debo's
You think
been
I would
hurt.
shrink him down just to make a point?
But all right, we can go. Oh, you know what? Why we can't go with that? Because Jonathan's not here to flip.
No, actually.
AJ was in that Debo class.
I'm going AJ Brown on the right.
Oh shit!
Ah.
Sheesh.
And yeah,
left.
I like.
Are we all sold on Debo on the left?
I am.
Yeah, I think.
Does he
that
only
I
have
like
3,000
Debo on the
receiving
left.
yards?
All right, Johnny, let's flip it over for him.
Yeah, flip it for me, Johnny. Oh, there it is.
Good call, Ryan and Jimmy. Good call, guys.
Good call.
You got Debo on the left and AJ Brown on the right. Both guys in the playoff.
Shucks, baby.
Both guys playing each other today too.
Oh,
tomorrow.
I now see. Oh,
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Way, huh?
Is that a Pokemon on the left? What is that?
21 to 22 stats. So this is
kinda
the
looks
last
like
2 years worth of
Juggernaut.
stats.
Like a
Games,
what?
Juggernaut.
games played 30, total receiving yards on the left 21-20, targets per receptions 219, 148, catch percentage 67.6, touchdowns 13, yak 3.9. Games played on the right 29, total receiving yards 2501, targets receptions 262 to 168, catch percentage 64.1, touchdowns 22, yak 6.5. I want to say, oh yeah, this is wide
The
receiver.
Minecraft character.
This is wide receiver.
Is it the right receiver?
So you got 29-year-old and a 30-year-old, huh?
No, games played. So
No, those are games played.
you silly goose.
I think it's a 24-year-old and a
one more drink for
23-year-old, but
You didn't even drink nothing. It's on coffee.
It's all hyped up.
Yet.
I think these are both white guys.
You just like
Hopped
you
up
like.
on Mountain
Mountain
Dew.
Dew.
shit.
love
did you say they're
Pokemon.
both white guys?
Wait. They're both. Oh, because of yak.
That's what he said. Well, no, Debo's yak was Debo's yak. We
Yeah,
all know what Debo
9.8.
does.
Oh shit.
Because of how thin his biceps are.
That's.
Those are-
What if it was Slim Reaper?
It could be.
You mother trucking
I
mother.
thought it was him anyway.
Marquise.
I was going to go with who's in the playoffs.
A
as wide
Slim Reaper on the
receivers, 'cause
left.
KJ likes
Slim Reaper on the
these.
left.
Games played, so these kids are pretty young.
Marquise.
No, you said they're old.
2 seasons.
I did
Marquise
not say they
Brown.
were older. You said they were older.
Slim Reaper on the left.
I said they're like 25 and 24, I think.
No, I think if anything, that's Reaper on the right.
Oh, Kelly got
Are you
it.
sure?
Nice
T.
job,
It's
Kelly.
got to be T.
It could be. That could be.
T
Higgins on
and
the right.
CD.
Oh, you know what? It is
T
T on
and
the left.
CD?
It is T on the left.
T and CD.
No,
No, I'm going T and Slim.
It'd be an
T.
AFC wide receiver.
Yeah, T Higgins.
He's thinking about the way I did the last
Yeah.
overlay.
I don't know if it'd be Kadarius Toney or not.
If I say they are
Ain't no way he's got
currently, if
that.
I say they are currently playing in the playoffs,
Higgins on the right.
I like Higgins
currently
left.
playing in the playoffs.
Well, no, because he missed a game.
I'm not going to tell you what. I'm not
Higgins
going to
on
tell
the
you what
right.
division
Higgins
or
is on the right,
conference. I'm
Steve.
going to tell you they're currently playing in the playoffs.
T. Higgins
So
or someone
T.
else.
Higgins and
2 years.
And a white guy. Look at that yak.
Devontae.
Devonta Smith is the other one.
Is it Higgins and Smith?
Yeah,
Yeah.
T. Higgins right. Devontae
I didn't say he
left.
was a 2-year
See, I
pro.
said Smith
didn't
left
say he
for
was.
home
Yeah,
run.
but we're
T.
we're
Higgins
guessing
right,
that based
Devontae
off
left.
of
All right.
their
Do
point
it. Give it to
games.
us.
Give it to
Flip
him.
it.
Give it to me, baby.
Because they got one, but they got it on the wrong side.
Damn it.
Oh.
Oh,
shit, baby.
wow.
Oh, baby.
Is that Chad Ochocinco?
No,
There's
that's
my
T.
argument, though, that we had.
Yes, that was a conversation we had about T being a number one, and then Jamar Chase probably can't do it without T.
Jamar
No.
Chase is kind of white, though.
He's
He
mocha.
is slim. He is slim in that picture, though.
He's mocha, Bo.
You know what's funny, though? When I do these
He only
overlays,
has
I can shave off
3.9
some
yak.
muscle mass. So don't always go by their weight.
Yeah, Chase,
All right,
Chase
go
gets
to the next
touchdowns
one because the
he
next
just-
one's for you guys. 2022 tandem running
Oh,
backs.
this is good.
Total receiving yards 601 to 4 on the left. Targets 115. Total rushing yards on the left 1891. Rushing attempts 399. Touchdowns to fumbles 14 to 6. Average yards per carry 4.7. On the right, total receiving yards 449. Targets 81. Total rushing yards 1992. Rushing attempts 425. TD versus fumbles 17 to 2. Average yards per carry 4.4.
All right,
What team tandems are these, and who are the players?
I want to say,
And that is from this year.
I want to say Bengals on the left, Chiefs right.
What would it be? Well,
I didn't say they
Chiefs.
were still playing.
You said no. It's 2022.
Checo and
It's fine. I know that.
Clyde
But
and McKinnon.
I know that.
duos.
I know that the Bengals
Threw a curveball at him when I put all divisional teams in there.
4.7. I don't think so.
I'm not giving anyone any ideas. That's why I minimize.
It's push buttons. All right, we love you.
Oh, they already figured out?
Who figured it?
I don't know, but
Let me see. I want to see
Where's
chat.
the chat? Why'd you hide chat?
because it's like, oh, Kelly got it right. And then
Because
they
chat's
based it off
cheating
of
and
that.
they look
Oh, he's trying to get. Oh, yeah. No, I want to see chat. I want to
you're
see
giving
chat.
people credit.
I
Give
see
me
what
the
he's
chat.
doing. I see what
honestly
he was
have no
trying to give
idea.
you guys the thought
I have
process.
no idea, I'll be honest.
But let me see chat. I want to see chat.
Yeah, I don't know.
What has chat got though?
No, that's different.
Has chat even said anything?
Chiefs left, Miami are interesting. I don't know. I thought it was Bengals left. I don't know because I know Joey B
I
likes
know
to.
you were giving props to Kelly.
So, do you guys think these are good stats, great stats, mediocre stats?
Yards
Just out
per
of
carry
curiosity.
4.7. I don't think the Bengals had that, so I'm wrong. I'm all.
Maybe
I don't
they're
know.
good stats.
Those are.
I don't know if these are regular season.
The regular season stats.
And they're just for 2022?
Just 2022 stats.
Who the
All
hell?
right, so you stopped at week 15?
No.
Oh, I thought there was like 2 weeks after in 2023.
They played 17 weeks.
I'm just thinking receiving
No, they
yards.
played- there was
just
18
because-
weeks.
McKinnon.
They
and
played
Pacheco,
17
McKinnon
weeks.
went off at the end of the
Play
year.
17.
Yeah, that's what I
I
said.
was trying to
So the
think if like one of those
receiving
weeks was
yards
cut out and you're
makes
trying
sense
to
there, but the
No,
running
this is the
side,
entire 2022 season for these teams.
2022-2023 season.
Not a lot of receiving.
Yes.
Not a lot
Okay,
of
I'm just
Almost
checking to make
2,000
sure
rushing.
that these aren't cut off in January 1.
17 only.
Was there a game January
Yeah,
1?
there was. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
the New Year's
saying,
Day
a
game.
week. That's why I was like,
I feel like they
No,
average.
but this is the 2022 season.
You know what's crazy? Okay, so Ryan,
I should have said 2022, 2023 season.
so those, I mean, like for check down stuff, like no, that's not great for a tandem of running backs.
Kelly, both of those are wrong. I will tell you that now. You got 30 other teams to pick from.
I gotta be honest, I don't know. I don't know who.
Buffalo, it's not the Browns.
Are they still in the playoffs? Did it say that?
Actually,
18 and 19. Okay.
no, it's a tandem. No, the Bills didn't run for 1,900 yards. I don't think.
Not unless you conclude Josh
New England
Allen.
and Niners. All right, you stumped me. I'm stumped.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't. Like I said,
stumped.
I have no idea.
All right, I'll give you one. You guess the other ones. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb.
No.
That's on the right.
Really?
Okay, I believe that. Wow. All right. Oh, there you go. Kelly got it. All right, Brown's right. Brown's right? Yeah, they ran that much.
You might be right, Jimmy.
Bo actually brought a statement in about 3 weeks ago and said this team's actually a rushing team. They don't even know it. Do you remember that statement, Bo?
Green Bay.
Yes.
No way.
It's A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones.
Well, A.J. Dillon's ass.
He regressed a lot this season.
You know what that tells me? It tells me that that Hunt did not run too well this year to bring that average down because Chubb averaged 5.
Chubb, Kareem Hunt averaged 3.9.
Thank
Yeah,
goodness
it's not
for
great.
Aaron Jones's yards per carry because AJ Dillon
Is ass.
That's
He
actually
had what,
false.
like 2.9?
No.
What was his yard?
A.J. Dillon was like 4.2, but Aaron Jones.
How many attempts did he have?
I think
Average
Aaron
on.
Jones was somewhere around 5.1 or 5.2 or something like that.
Chubb's yards per carry were 5 yards.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I think
Chubb
he's-
was
I
5,
think he's
Kareem Hunt was
averaging-
3.9.
I think he's averaging 5 yards for his career.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's going
Or
for
very
J-Rob.
close, yeah.
He's trying, and I think that's why he's signing where he signs every time because I think he knows that Stefanski's going to do everything he can. to keep Chubb at a limited carry and keep his average up.
And he doesn't cry about it. He's just, I
He's a competitor.
know my job
He's a
here.
competitor.
I'm going to
What
go out and
bothered
do
me
it.
about this, though, this stat when I started looking him up, is the amount of fumbles that came out of Aaron Jones's hands.
Yeah.
I do find this funny that you have 2 first-round picks in here. Or no, Kareem Hunt was a third. So you have a first and a third, and then undrafted Aaron Jones, and I think A.J. Dillon was taken in the
who was
third
first?
as well.
What are you talking? Okay, Aaron Jones was undrafted.
Yeah, I believe so. I
Who
think
was
he
the
was
first round
undrafted.
pick? Was A.J. Dillon first?
Nick Chubb.
Chubb
Chubb was not a first round pick.
My bad, second, yeah. So second and a third round on
None
the
of these guys
Browns.
are first round picks,
And then I think A.J. Dillon was a third round pick.
That is an interesting fact.
and they're
So you-
leading the leagues in rush. I don't know if they're leading as a whole.
Second.
Oh, my bad.
I was going to say I didn't think he
Sorry,
was
I thought it was
undrafted. I didn't
undrafted.
think he was undrafted.
Dylan was the 62nd pick overall.
So he's third round.
Second. End of the second.
I was second.
Oh yeah, 64.
Green Bay
yeah.
always picks to the back with nothing to show for
They
it.
never take offensive in the first round.
Makes the playoffs.
Unless
Let's go back to that argument. Why don't we?
And they
All right,
don't win.
so,
Sorry.
so we're gonna move on from here. This is probably the perfect time, and we're gonna jump into these matchups. Oh my God, did we do matchup overlays? I did not. That's fine. We have the title game. We're gonna go AFC first, I guess. We are gonna go Cincinnati at the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm gonna let Wheels take this one off. How you feeling about this game, Wheels? And
I have the Bengals winning 31-27.
all right,
I'm very, very close to that.
31-27 Bengals. And why do you have them winning this game?
So the Bengals average 26 points per game,
Yes, give him stats.
and the Chiefs average 29 points per game. I understand that, but I think Joe Burrow owns the Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
And
Invitational
given
is
the
when it
head
gets sent home.
coaching, is completely opposite. They're polar opposites 100%. But I think the offensive ability for Joe Burrow versus Mahomes at 85%. I mean, I don't know how serious that high ankle sprain is. If it's even a high ankle sprain or he rolled his ankle. But it seems like they're trying to hide something.
I think
I
it was garbage. He's walking fine.
What did you see the Kelsey thing too?
Do you think he just
Kelsey
rolled his
stayed out
ankle?
with a back injury and he practiced just fine.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, it's all garbage. I'm
All
not
right,
sure
I
at
think
all.
they're-
The thing is you have to list any type of injury if they say
Correct.
that they have an injury.
Or if they
So even
if they
it's
don't
just
show
a
up to
tiny
practice,
little back spasm, they have to list it.
or if they don't show up to practice.
Right.
Right.
Or,
Yeah, I
yes,
mean,
or they don't. They have to.
do you
they have
think
to
that-
announce things.
Does somebody have a rebuttal to this? The Cincinnati winning. Who's got Kansas City
I'm
Chiefs
taking
winning?
the Chiefs.
All
Oh,
Ryan,
really?
give me your reasoning for why the Chiefs win this game then.
I think. Kelly's kind of got it. There's just so much hype for Burrow being Daddy Burrow and all this Burrow head.
But he's
I think
proving
it's-
it.
Okay, that's fine. But there's a first for everything. And I think that the Chiefs come out with this one because it's just like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's never lost to the Cowboys, right? Now he's 1-7. So I'm thinking the Chiefs. I think that
Cincinnati's the
they're
underdog.
tired of this talk.
Plus
There's
1.5.
too much trash talk. Joe Cool, all this crap. It's time.
Is that just the trash
Mahomes
talk
is
from
gonna
Twitter
win this
then?
one. It's
Like-
trash talk all around. You think these guys aren't on Twitter?
I'm just
Seeing this stuff?
I'm just curious
they're
because
pissed.
Eli Apple.
Bo,
Yeah, Eli Apple shouldn't open
Bo,
his
what's
mouth.
the line for this
Yeah.
game?
We got Cincinnati plus 1.5 underdogs
Oh.
at Kansas City. Over under is sitting at 48.
Wow, that seems low for two
Yeah.
offensive champs.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
Here's my take on this is Kansas City's going to take the film of the Ravens game, and they're going to watch what the Ravens did well. And what the Ravens did well is that they ran the ball consistently, they kept the ball out of Burrow's hands, and they played mistake-free football and got first downs when it mattered. And when
Almost mistake-free football.
The Ravens
Almost, yeah.
had a 14-point sway with a fumble without the 1 yard line because they could have scored 7
We had 3
and won that
turnovers that
game.
game.
And if the Bengals, they had 3 turnovers and Joe Burrow was 3 and out every time he touched the ball, every single time.
But that
So-
defense is so good
Yeah,
compared
Ravens
to
defense
Kansas
is
City.
Yeah.
like
Hold on,
better.
hold on. Don't
I'm
count out
I'm
Steve
listening.
Spagnuolo.
I'm listening.
Well, my point here is that Kansas City had nothing when they went into the Bengals game to do besides relax. They'd already had enough space to like win. They didn't really. They were playing for a first place, but they had enough games behind them to win first place with worse teams than the Bengals that I don't think that they really gave it their all.
So they
I
were
think
cruising.
it was a scripting game for Andy Reid to test out. We're probably going to see this team in the playoffs. Let me go ahead and test out some schemes that I want to see what gets open and how the defense reacts. And he's next level coaching, which is why he's in the AFC Championship every single year with Mahomes. And it's not it wasn't their best showing. The time before that, okay, Joe Burrow comes back healthy. He's the guy. The rhetoric is, let's see if this unproven guy can beat Mahomes, right? And they built up that vernacular. This one's not that.
So you got the
This
Chiefs?
is going to be the Chiefs. I'm all over the Chiefs on this one. And the reason is that the same reason that you thought Cincinnati was going to win against the Bills last week. They're the ones that aren't getting toted. Everyone hates them. They have to play up to the Bills. This is the Bills at home. Everybody knows this is a Bills dominant game. Bills came out and crapped the bed. Their defensive line didn't move. They didn't move the trenches. The Bengals won. But I also think the Bengals busted their load early against the Bills. The offensive line came out and played exceptionally hard because everybody was telling them how bad they sucked. Nobody's saying that this year. In this game.
All right, that's
Nobody's
funny.
talking about how bad the offensive line still is. And Chris Jones, he doesn't give you 3 seconds in the pocket.
No, I agree with that.
And
Chris
so,
Jones is
like,
very good.
I don't care how bad or how good your offense is. Joe Burrow's proven that if he has time in the pocket, he'll dot you up all day long.
Yeah, Joe
He's had
Burrow's also,
55 sacks on the year.
but he's also proven that he can take a hit and still win games.
But my point is that when
And
the
when his
Kansas
leg
City
stays
gets
where it
on
needs to be.
offense, good luck getting them off the field. And when Kansas City gets on defense, I think that they're going to pressure Joe Burrow. I'm a big Joe Burrow guy. I think that Joe Burrow can do it if he has time in the pocket. I don't feel like he's going to have the time in the pocket.
I don't think he needs time in the
Their
pocket.
defenses are nearly
He does.
like
The Ravens showed it to you.
I think Joe Mixon and P. Ryan are better than Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon.
You think Joe Mixon and P. Ryan are better? Yeah, no. No one's going to make that argument. The difference is that the defensive line that they're going up against is similar to like what the Ravens defense did before. Joe Mixon and Samaje P. Ryan were not in that
But
game.
I think if I had to compare those two defenses, I think that the Cincinnati's defense and the Kansas City Chiefs, like front seven, are similar. Same teams.
Here, hold on.
Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
passes, right?
I want to ask you a question.
Quick passes. 1 second, because the quick and I swear, just to answer your thing, Travis Kelce
That's it. That's
cannot be guarded.
He can't.
That's not true.
Okay.
He is very good on the quick slants.
Everything.
Very good on the quick slants.
All he runs is option routes with his quarterback, and all Mahomes has to do is give him whatever signal that they give and they're on the same wavelength.
Yep.
It's Brady and Gronk.
I think you're going to have to get Tony engaged in this game to win the game.
you use him as a gadget.
I think you're going to have to get Tony engaged.
Yeah.
He's on Swiss
So
Army
like I
knife.
said, he's a wish version
you
of
saw
Debo.
Mark Andrews get 100 yards on the Bengals defense.
But again,
I'm
one
just saying-
weapon.
and
I don't.
Travis
Kelce
Kelce
can get
can
100
catch.
yards on me. I don't care. I don't care if he gets 2 touchdowns. If no one else touches the freaking ball, who cares?
I don't think that the Bengals offense, they did it to the Bills defense, but the Bills defense was what, dude? Was not apparent. They weren't there.
Top
No, they
5.
weren't. It was all they. Yeah, statistically, I know my rankings took a
not
hit.
that week they weren't.
No,
Not that week
they were
weren't.
bad.
The offensive line had a field day because everyone was firing them up with fuel and
I
telling them
agree.
how bad they are.
When you look at the
They're not
Chiefs'
doing that
defense,
this
are
week.
you scheming against Chris Jones?
Scheming against Chris
Like,
Jones.
is he
There's no way
your
you
guy?
scheme
You
against
have
Chris
to.
Jones.
You're gonna have to. You
So that's
have
your
to.
guy. So expect
He
runs
gets
at
double
him.
teamed every play and still penetrates quarterback pressure up the middle of the pocket.
they're
And
gonna-
the quarterback can't step up in the pocket. He's got to go backwards or sideways.
I agree.
When he goes backwards
That's-
and sideways, you're taking away half the field because he can't throw opposite. So they're going to hyper target Chase, and that ain't going to work.
No,
No, you don't need a hyper target chase. You got
What-
T. Higgins.
You
got Hayden Hurst.
The only time that he throws to T. Higgins is after his primary reads away and he's got time in the pocket.
I think T. Higgins is his primary read a lot.
I think T. Higgins is the number one of that team.
I don't think he's the number one. I think he's the primary read because I think Chase takes, like you said, it takes a while to develop a chase route. So you have to look somewhere first, and I think T
You're
is
gonna tell
usually the
me-
first look.
I just don't 3 progressions. What was your question?
They're gonna
3 progressions.
they're gonna take Chris Jones out of the game early. They're gonna screen him. They're gonna do a lot of dump.
ISO him, trap him.
They're gonna do a lot of dump offs to Mixon. What they've done all year. Mixon's got a lot of well, not tread left. He's got a lot of catches. He's been in that offense, whether he's producing in the run game or not.
You think Joe Mixon?
I think Joe Mixon is going to be able to open up that offense.
I think he already used that game up against the Bills to get here.
I mean, you beat up on a good defense. This defense is not the Bills' defense. However, Chris Jones.
Aren't a good defense.
What?
Joe Mixon.
The Bills were a good defense.
The Bills were a good defense.
Till Von Miller, I feel,
He
and
got the team to this point. Joe Mixon did his job. He's done.
Micah.
And what we've seen out of Joe Mixon is those spurts of games where he looks
agree.
like it's the 7 or
Listen,
6 yards per carry.
My fantasy
and 2
team
touchdowns.
understands that. That
And then
hurts.
He takes the
Don't
next
you
3
laugh.
or 4 weeks off.
That hurt.
I'm just saying.
I know, but I'm just saying. I think it's going to be a
You
lot.
think he could do it 2 weeks in a row?
I think
think he did it 12 weeks in a row.
Who?
Oh no, that's not true.
Last year, Joe Mixon, he was a stud last year.
He was.
We're
That's
going
why I
last
drafted
year
him
for
in
the Chiefs
first.
playoff
You're just saying,
Anyway.
can he do it 2 weeks in a row? And I said, yes, he can.
Time machine. Let's go back to last year and watch how good these players
But
are.
you asked the question if he can do something, and I said, yes, he's proven it. That's going back.
No.
You have to go to a historical
He's
to
fishing.
prove if someone
He's
can do
fishing.
it.
No, he got you.
I'm not going back 2 years.
He got you.
was
He got you.
23.
He got
He's
you.
25 now.
Okay, so that
He
being
gets better
being
insurance.
said, Patrick Mahomes can't do it then either.
Why?
Because based on everything Patrick Mahomes, he's injured. He can't do it. He's not Patrick Mahomes beginning of this year. It's not the same Patrick Mahomes. Different guy.
No.
the same nightmare in the Super
Same
Bowl.
guy that makes it to the AFC Championship every year.
No, that's history. That's not today.
He's
He's the injured guy.
Joe Mixon's done it every single
But
year.
you can't
Every year,
discount
consistently.
someone's history. Joe Mixon has played very well when he's needed to play well historically since he's been on this team.
Did you guys know that Joe Mixon and
I didn't
Samaje
see him
P.
play
Ryan
well
played on the
against
same
the
Oklahoma
Ravens.
team? I didn't. Anyway,
Again,
I want to tell you, I just didn't see him. Let's pull
I
up his
didn't
that's
know
stats.
that.
fine, and
I didn't know that
that's a good argument. But I will say that Ravens team is underrated as a defense and is a top 5 defense.
Therefore, they're rated.
and-
They're
Are
top
they?
five
I don't think they're
defense.
ranked. I don't think they're ranked top 5, brother.
Jonathan, you watch your mouth over there. All right?
I don't
They're
think.
definitely top 10.
I don't
You
think they're
don't
ranked top
agree
5.
with Mahoney, all right?
I
So,
just
I mean,
did.
their
so.
defenses are nearly identical. I mean,
Whose?
the Ravens and the Chiefs.
Oh, my
yard-wise,
God.
yard-wise. The Bengals allowed 229 passing yards a game, 106 rushing yards, 20 points per game. And the Chiefs, 221 passing yards allowed.
You wouldn't happen to know the
107
matchup
rushing
between the
yards.
Bengals
I
that
can
they
tell you,
allow.
Cincinnati's
do not
offensive
have that.
rushing ranking is 29.
Are they ranked 3rd? I would say they're up.
Cincinnati's offensive rushing ranking this season is 29.
We know this.
Yeah, I know, because
We know this.
that was what I hung my head on
And
last week,
Kansas City's
and I got
rushing
roasted.
Defense is ranked 8th.
Yep.
Right, so if you want to use the argument that the Ravens are just a better defense and that
They're ranked
Cincinnati's
3rd. That's a way
offense-
different
You're
stat.
saying, but you're
I mean,
saying
that's
Joe
big.
Mixon can come through 95
In the
rushing
screen
yards
game.
per game. Like this is like Cincinnati offense.
Right.
No,
The chip and dump. Yeah, I think that's going to be big.
I think
they're going to double team them, and then they're going to keep keep P. Ryan in on 3rd.
I have Cincy
and they're
winning
gonna
this
chip
game.
him. They're going
I
to
have Cincy winning this game. I have them winning this game 27-21,
I got
which I
Cincy
think that
winning, too.
is the.
So
You said
the
48 and a
Ravens'
half is
defense
the.
third.
Yeah, you said 40.5.
Kansas City is 16th. They're middle of the pack.
Yeah.
in rush defense.
And just defense in general.
Oh, defense.
Yeah, they're mid.
Overall.
Yeah, they're
I
they're
can't,
mid.
I can't
Mid
compare
defense.
defenses
However,
because
if you
Kansas City
give
can't defend
Steve
against the pass. They get
Spagnuolo
passed all over on.
the amount of time needed to just study a team, good luck.
Why didn't he do it last time he played them?
He did. They only scored, what,
studied a
17
team.
points?
No.
Last time they played in the
studied a team.
playoffs?
No, I'm not talking last week. Didn't they play earlier this year? 3 games ago?
Okay, that's regular season.
Joe Burrow
I'm
did it
talking
last
about-
year. I think that they're going to watch that film too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like,
Go ahead.
What
pick
was your
Bengals.
score? What was your score?
I did. I said the Bengals 27-21,
go.
which I
Give
think
it
that
that.
is that 48?
This is a revenge.
You said
Yeah,
you
that's
said you said 48 and a half, right?
That's 48.
So,
at home.
Yeah, I
in
think this
Arrowhead.
game.
Aren't they undefeated in Arrowhead against them?
What happens
I
if
like lower scoring.
Johnny, what do you got?
Every team's undefeated
Hold on,
until
guys.
they're not.
Johnny, what do you got?
Last game was 27-24 Cincy.
Yeah, they scored 27 on the last time, not 17.
Playoffs. This is playoff football. This
Let-
isn't
With
regular
an injured
playoffs.
quarterback.
Allegedly. I think that's
I don't
bullshit.
think he's injured. I
I think
think
that's
You,
garbage.
guys,
It's
guys,
different than
you can
regular
say
season.
he's not injured. I don't care if it's a low ankle sprain, a class 1, a class 2, a class 3.
Watch him walk after that interview, bro.
It doesn't matter.
He's fine.
All I'm going to say is when it takes one hit, Hendrickson gets to the room once.
Takes one hit for anything.
I get it, but it's already
Look
injured.
at DeMar Hamlin.
Re-injuring an injury within a week of itself, it's going to happen. He's going to have a hard time getting out of that pocket. That's why the defense, I agree with you, does matter.
Want a beer?
And I think they're going to, like Jimmy said in the chat, they're going to have to lean on the run. If Kansas City doesn't lean on the run, they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle.
They're going to lean on
That's why my score is what it is, Dan.
So I think that's the only way forward for them.
Give me like I never gave you a
Bengals
score.
by 3, 31-28. Yeah, you never gave a score.
Look what
I
Dan
thought I
said.
got passed over.
Dan
Poor guy
said
over here.
that the Bengals have won 3-0 versus the Chiefs all by 3 points.
There you go. By 3, I'm
That's
taking
why I
that.
had 31-28. 21-17.
What's the spread was? 1.5?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's going to be close, yeah.
Yeah, live is 1.5.
It's
I love
the
that.
only thing that is it's home field. That's all it is.
I saw the spreads, and I saw like 1.5, and I think the other spread was like 2.5.
It's a coin flip.
I was like, okay.
It's home field.
But you know what?
That's what the
And
1.5 comes
You know
in.
what, though? Looking at these teams, they are so evenly matched in my mind because I think they're both middle of the pack on defense. You can look it up overall.
Yeah.
I think they're both middle of the pack.
I got roasted on my shit last week. I understand.
Coward was saying all week that
Coward. There you go. That's a good source.
That the over/under has been changing. It was favored, or no, Kansas City was underdogs originally, and then it was.
Kansas City's actually pretty good against the
Yeah,
run,
then
though.
it's pretty much
That's what he
bounced
was
back
saying.
and forth.
Yeah,
1.5.
they're 8th against the run.
That's why I said screen game.
Everyone throws
They
on
got
them,
it.
but everyone throws on them
'Cause you
because
have
they're
to.
trailing.
Correct.
But the point is that Joe Mixon and the Cincinnati Bengals rushing offense wasn't there in the Ravens game. And I just see them watching a lot of that Ravens game and implementing a lot of the same kind of situation.
But they still
because they
won.
have the same personnel for it.
Well,
And scheming for it, essentially.
I absolutely.
They still won.
They have
27-14.
But the
Bengals.
But
Pacheco has more rushing yards than Mixon on the year.
The
that's
Ravens.
sad.
Oh, yeah.
I
They
have the
still
stats
won
right
by
here.
2
That's
scores.
super sad.
Go ahead, do what the Ravens did, and they still win by 2
Did you
scores.
watch the game, or
Yes.
did you sleep that one?
No,
don't
I
know.
watched the game.
Sometimes you do sleep.
No,
through
I watched the game.
I'm not.
This
'cause
guy.
You work hard. He works
This
hard.
I do go to
guy.
work early, and if it's a Sunday night game, I will.
I'm not. I want to make sure you watch.
No,
the
I
same
watched the game.
because that game is a Ravens win.
I
It's the same way.
I
it's
agree.
The same way that the Dallas Cowboys lost to the Tennessee Titans, even though the score wasn't the same. The better team lost.
But guess
when
what?
It came to scores.
Winning still matters.
And no one's saying that it
The
doesn't.
scoreboard still matters.
Yes,
But guess
points
what?
count. Yes.
Guess what Mahomes won't do.
Captain Obvious over here.
Guess what Mahomes won't do.
Make mistakes. Guess what Burrow doesn't do?
Make mistakes.
Make mistakes.
Yeah, and he also
he
went
just goes
3 and out because he didn't take chances.
I
'Cause
agree.
he's a small peen chicken shit.
And guess what? You
Joe
guys
Burrow's
took
a small
chances, and
pea
Hubbard got the
chicken
ball
shit?
and ran it to the other end.
Oh my lord.
Better team lost
Time
that
in his
night.
pocket.
You should have handed the ball off to the running back.
Burrow's got the best arm with it. When he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Period.
He's
I
the
know
best
he is,
pure passer.
but he needs time in the pocket for the plays to develop.
Yep.
No, he doesn't.
He
No,
has
he
to have
doesn't.
it.
He's the fastest release in the NFL this year.
It doesn't.
He doesn't.
Why does he get sacked so much? Because he holds the ball, waiting for plays
On
to develop,
third downs.
which is why he's 3 and outer.
And Chiefs
I
have
love it.
55
He doesn't need
sacks
third downs.
on the year.
He gets third downs all the time because the run game isn't there.
The Ravens did a really good job at covering Jamar Chase over top like you're supposed to because they have a young guy in the name of Kyle Hamilton who's done very good.
Which, by the way, the Ravens did exactly what I said that they should do.
Bracket
and they
him.
ended up doing.
And
they
they won.
bracket Jamar Chase and they put Marlon Humphrey.
You're saying they won?
on T. Higgins.
You're so bad.
They won that game.
I
dude.
know they won the
if
game.
You watch the game. The Ravens won. It's
But
a
the-
14-point.
the Chiefs-
Scoreboard makes it different. Scoreboard makes it different.
If we had Lamar Jackson, we won that game.
The Chiefs do not have the
They won the
defensive
game with
talent
Huntley.
to do what the Ravens did.
They should have just ran.
You
I
can
don't know
scheme
why
all
they
you
didn't.
want.
Huntley
whatever.
had 3 turnovers. I don't know if Lamar Jackson has 3 turnovers that game.
One. I could see one that's about
Tyler
two
Huntley
Lamar.
over Lamar Jackson.
Anyway,
Maybe
let's-
one.
All right, moving on.
But Kansas City, I think that a lot of people are just doing the overlooking the home team advantage at Arrowhead and doing the rematch game. And those Kansas City fans, it's the loudest stadium.
Kelly, who? Joe Burrow or
next win,
Patrick?
Seattle and Arrowhead. You're taking away the home field advantage factor.
Burrow makes
That's 3 points.
Absolutely.
That's the 3 points.
I mean, they both
at
make
home.
mistakes. That was a hyperbolic statement. Like
I
they
think it
both
was
make
Joe Burrow.
mistakes.
I
Patrick
love
Mahomes
Kansas
throws
City.
interceptions too. Patrick Mahomes almost lost to the Denver Broncos twice.
Do you love Kansas City because of stats or
No. I love Kansas City because Andy Reid is Andy Reid, and he's tired of getting shit on from the Joe Burrow take last year.
Okay, so Dan,
I get
why don't
that.
you go get some caffeine,
Versus
bro?
Zach Taylor, who is, I think, probably will go there.
He's saying
Oh, gosh.
What a
See, here's a hold on. See, this Kelly, that's a horrible take from Kelly, because if you look at Joe Burrow the first 4 games this season, that team is the completely different team.
All right.
From the beginning of the season. That team went undefeated essentially from that point. So that's a totally different team.
Yeah.
And that team is still thriving on that energy. So
Philly, San Francisco.
But no,
Yes.
I want to know. I want to know your takes in this game for anytime touchdowns.
My anytime touchdown scorer here is Jerick McKinnon. He didn't get in last week. I think he's due. The other one, Travis Kelce in the playoffs is probably the best red zone target. Also, primetime TV loves Travis Kelce, so there's no reason why he wouldn't score for all the girls at home that have a Kelce jersey. Kelce. Yeah, Mahomes isn't going to get it done with his feet as far as rushing touchdowns go, because I don't think they're going to take those risks because they're playing for a Super Bowl. So, I just see a lot of check down passes and nickel and diming. The nickel and diming Cincinnati doesn't have a chance against, because they played against the Bills, who don't nickel and dime, and they played against the Ravens, who did nickel and dime and got dominated.
And Mixon popped at the right time of the
You got any
season.
anytime touchdown on
Travis
Cincy?
Kelce, Jerick McKinnon. The anytime touchdown scorer, your safe play is Jamar Chase, right? Because that's like he can find the red zone from like 30 yards out. He has the ability, and they do target him from 30 yards out. My other one here,
got to be T, right?
I'm going with Hayden Hurst.
I was going to say tight end.
That's what I was going to say, baby.
It's only because when they get into the red zone that you're hyper. You're looking around crossing routes and underneath with these wide receivers that are going to be running the underneath routes, and then they're going to miss him in the
You
back.
should miss him.
I miss him.
He's a super athletic tight end. There's 29
catches the
poor
ball,
guys.
too.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, likely. You guys say likely. I think he's going to be
Okay,
bright
I just figured I'd ask that question because obviously this is going to be a big gambling point.
I probably, if I was going to do it, tight ends hit with that guy's big bet. We all saw the 72,000 off a $5 first touchdown scorer bet was pretty awesome. I think that because of that bet happening, they're going to see that trend. They're going to offer some better odds for that and maybe try to get you to chase tight ends. So I think I'd lean more towards the Jerick McKinnon and Jamar Chase. Because I think the defenses and the NFL rhetoric would say we don't want people winning a whole bunch of money from our gaming sites. And so they can script it correctly.
Well, tight ends score a lot in the playoffs.
It's funny because
playoffs love tight ends.
I took a parlay on this game, and it was just a simple one. Bengals to win, money line, cover the spread, and over 47.5.
Yeah, I took the over in the Bengals, too.
You took money line and to cover the spread?
Well, because they're -1 when I took it.
Okay.
So essentially, all they have to do is win, and they cover the spread.
Yeah, you get worse odds.
Yeah.
You just take a money line if you.
But you get the more odds just because it's a parlay.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
And then, as you said, I actually tied that parlay with the next game, which is the NFC, with Philly covering the spread, money line, same exact odds as the Bengals, and then the under for 46.5. So I have the Eagles winning this game,
right?
And I've got them winning this game 21-18. I think this is gonna be a low-scoring game. Top one. I think it's the first overall defense against like the fourth overall. Like Philly's defense is really good.
Yeah, I think they're second actually.
Really,
but yeah,
are they second?
They're stupid good.
Ryan just looked it up. I figured he'd know off the top of his head.
This is gonna be a really,
Philly's defense is second.
Second
This is gonna
overall.
be a
So your top
very
two
good game.
defenses against
in
the last 6 games, the top 2 offenses.
I'm right there with you.
So
It's gonna be a good game.
I just think veteran players. This one's a hard game. This is such a hard game.
It's almost a toss. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game.
Yeah,
not super, but I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be field goals.
What do you? I mean, does anybody have a harsh take on it? Anybody got anything on this game?
I have the Niners.
So do I.
So the Eagles are 8.
Philly hasn't played
total
anybody.
defense, they're
I don't
eighth?
think Philly's played anybody.
In total
they had
defense-
one of the easiest.
You realize
schedule
it's
on
the
year.
opposite way, right? The 49ers haven't played like a top defense prior to playoffs.
So the 49ers are number 1. Bills are technically 2. Ravens are 3. This is all total defense. So like total yards given up. The Eagles are all the way at 8th. They give up
A good amount of yards. Okay.
least amount of yards.
Philly had, I think, this second easiest schedule this year.
According to who? You?
No, it was. I forget
agree,
this.
Jimmy.
I forget the
game's gonna be
site
great.
I looked it up on. It was this morning when I was driving in.
I agree.
Both those teams have
They're so even.
they're they're completely opposite
Offenses.
of the spectrums on the offense. They both
Air it out.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, you got the 49ers who like to run the football,
Right.
And then you got
Maybe.
the Eagles who pretend to like to run the football, but they like to throw the ball a lot.
Air it out.
They're more of a balanced attack, but they lean towards the run, like a 60-40.
Since Purdy's been there, they've been
55-45
balanced
kinda
on the
thing.
San Francisco
Where
49ers.
49ers like to be like a 70-30, run off the play action, get your tight ends open, get Debo in space, get Brandon Ayuk running his nice curl digs and, in routes, because he's just one of my favorite route runners. A very underrated route runner, by the way. If you ever get
Slum
bored.
Reaper.
No,
Ayuk.
Ayuk's stellar.
He just can't
Ayuk
catch.
is he can catch, but he just lacks
Not contested.
he lacks that star power.
Right.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
He doesn't
In the
make those
playoffs, he
big
hasn't.
flashy, but he doesn't have to make contested catches when he makes the guy look like he's he's wearing a pair of
When you
rollerblades.
play good defenses, you do.
The secondary is very good. Yeah, this can be a difficult game.
That's the
find out.
thing.
I didn't.
Well,
I
I'll
got.
tell you this: the Eagles are getting they're getting Maddox back, and that's huge for that defense. Maddox is a very good slot corner, so that kind of hurts Ayuk this game. I really like Debo.
They already have Slay and Bradbury on the outside.
Correct. And
Like
now
those
they're getting
corners
Maddox
are
back in the
stupid.
slot.
It's funny. I like the
yeah.
other guy. I
And
can't remember his
they're
name.
getting Gardner Johnson back too, right?
Not-
Oh, I thought Gardner Johnson was back last week.
You're right that and those guys are playing. They're playing healthier. My thing with this game is that I can't say outside of the Dallas games that the Eagles have played, the 49ers are the best tackling team in the NFL. These guys fly to the ball everywhere.
I thought that was
and
the
all
Eagles
guys
that were
are
the
on
best
them.
tackling team.
Fred Warner and the safety, what's his name?
The
Troy
Tolo.
Polamalu Jr.
Yeah, that guy.
Niners have almost 1,200 tackles.
They're
1,198 total tackles. Eagles have 1,179 total tackles.
Okay.
But the Eagles have 70 sacks on the year.
right.
The
That's
number one team in
insane.
sacks. Yeah.
That's
So, like,
crazy.
I keep
by like 20
Yeah.
or 15.
15, yeah. The Chiefs have 55.
I keep waffling on this
Niners
game.
got the best left tackle though. so.
Because I can go on both sides of this and say, I
Sounds
think my
personal.
biggest thing is I believe that they're gonna shut down Kittle, right? Like they're gonna say, look, if you're gonna beat us,
I don't think you can.
Ayuk and Debo is
well,
going to be the way.
Here's the thing: is
When
I think
healthy,
that they
it's
can.
Kittle and Kelsey.
And here's how they can. They like we've all talked about. They are good at getting to the quarterback. The Eagles defense. When you can get to the quarterback, and they don't have the capability to throw to a guy like Kittle, who you need to be able to set your feet and throw the short ball to.
Optimize block and release.
Well, that's what they're going to have to do, right? But I just see that the Eagles are going to be sitting on that. Like they're just going to be, and they're one of the best teams at creating turnovers. On the flip side, I already mentioned this is the best tackling team in football. So the guys that are going to be making these catches, you're not going to see a lot of yak. These guys are either going to contest the passes, they're going to intercept the ball, or they're going to tackle them where they stand, which means that the Eagles on the offensive side are going to have to rely on Hurts's capacity to run, right?
To extend the play.
This guy's ran for 13 touchdowns. He's thrown for 22. He's got one of the strongest arms in the NFL. He's the most dangerous guy. The 49ers get passed on because they sit back in coverage. And I think that the Eagles' talent at wide receiver
What's that?
is good enough that they can catch in those pockets.
Four guys.
All this to be said, it'll come down to Christian McCaffrey and the calf bruised, and what if they can control the tempo and do the checkdowns and throw quick passes against the Eagles and take
the
the
way to beat 'em.
defensive line out of the game.
That's
you
why I
have
like
to
Debo
do-
Samuels this game.
I also think that Elijah Mitchell being healthy towards the end of the season
Well,
helps
he's out
them.
now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's not. He's got a growing injury that he's nursing, so he's not going to be playing.
What is it with 49ers
They
running
love
backs,
that
and
growing
they
injury.
run them into the
Shanahan
ground? I
gets the most
swear.
out of them.
They're heavily run. They
Shanahan
run
gets
the
the most
football
out
a
of them.
lot.
So
It's just-
I
And it's a stretch run. So
My-
you're getting guys that are running downhill defensive guys running downhill at like full tilt.
Versus the heart of the defensive line.
Hard game.
They're kind of at a standstill because you don't know which way they're going.
I'm running into a wall, essentially.
Exactly. So when you're running stretch run scheming, you're having the whole offensive line move, the whole defense move in one direction at full tilt. Chances are you're going to, train wreck.
It's just I don't even know how to bring energy to this game just because this is such a
game.
It is.
Wait and see.
I feel like both of these are really both of these games.
Purdy's not breaking
hard.
any records this season,
though,
and that's my point. Go ahead.
It's time we start putting some respect, and KJ, I was talking to you about this, on Hassan Reddick's name. 16 sacks this year. I feel like
16 and a half.
The media doesn't. It's 16.
16 and a half.
The media doesn't want. Just looked it up, you turd.
Right.
He doesn't. It's 16 sacks, 35 tackles,
media
14
want him
assists.
to get the accolades?
Now shut up and let me talk.
Okay.
Oh.
16 and a half.
I wasn't talking to you.
That's okay.
Suck it at me. That's why I said it again.
Chinese don't want to, and I don't KJ doesn't like to be wrong, and he's being wrong here. So the fact is that the media doesn't want to push an agenda because nobody knows who Hassan Reddick is. Your casual fan isn't going to know who that is.
They should have with the Cardinals.
He came from the Cardinals, didn't he?
We all know what the Cardinals gave up. Everything.
So it's time. Like they went out and got Hassan. They were like, dude, all I want you to do is just go after the passer.
Do you think it's because
that's what he's good at?
Bosa?
With the Cardinals, he wasn't good because they had him go out and pass co.
He wasn't bad.
He wasn't good.
But yes, he was in coverage more. He had more tackles.
Hey, Ryan, I'll give you the tutelage on that. Here's my question. What does Hassan Reddick do or have that Micah Parsons doesn't, and they just beat him?
Nothing.
That's where I'm just going to say, like, you're right, but you're also wrong because they've proven that.
What am I wrong about?
Well, that
Hassan
Reddick's
isn't being recognized.
And the value of this game really doesn't matter because they just went up against Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons is way better as a defensive player than
I don't know
Hassan
about
Reddick.
way better.
Well, they just proved that they can beat that type of player.
I think he's way better.
But Michael Parsons doesn't have as many sacks as Hassan Reddick.
Light years better, my opinion.
Let me double check.
He doesn't this year, but Mike only has 14.
He has 16 sacks.
Yeah, but he also
he also plays way better in coverage.
Micah Parsons has he plays a different level of game than
and he also might have
Hassan
interceptions.
13
has a role.
regular sacks. A and B.
Yeah, he's the last one blocked on that defense that's rushing.
You're talking about Hassan Reddick.
The last one's getting double teamed.
Yeah, like he's got one role.
Micah's
but he's got a role in this defense that fits him.
Yeah, you're right. And keep in mind that Hassan Reddick is
Micah Parsons
is also being privileged by the other side of that line that's getting double teamed.
Some of these got to be coverage sacks.
No, the other guy on the other side of the line is getting double teamed.
Plus the middle linebacker, Fred Warner, too.
I'll tell you what, if I'm a defensive
I'll put
coordinator,
you in there, baby. You're going to get one or two in the NFL, maybe because of the coverage alone.
It's very possible.
And a QB
well,
running
and
outside.
that's what the Niners go off of. The Niners are defensive line heavy. They'll let their second there. They're like, try to throw on us. We're going to get to you before you.
I don't think you can do that with A.J. Brown as a receiver.
Defensive.
Go ahead.
Eagles, but I also don't want to be wrong.
Go ahead. Man to man. Go ahead. Man up A.J. Brown and see how fast you lose with Jalen Hurts throwing the ball for a 50-50 ball. It's not a 50-50 ball.
And you still have Devontae, who nearly caught 1,200 or got 1,200 yards this year.
You got to build a defensive line first.
95 receptions,
then corner.
1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, 12.
Better quarterback
average.
in this game, Purdy or Hurts?
Well, it's Hurts 100%.
Hurts.
It's going to be Hurts.
Hey, Eagles also
That's crazy.
dominated
Y'all
the
took the
Giants.
49ers, but you said Jalen's going to be the better quarterback in this game.
The 49ers are going to win the game, yeah.
The Giants on every side of the ball.
I think
49ers nudged past the Cowboys.
I think
by the defense. By the defense.
And I know that the Eagles played at home, but the Eagles, I don't know what the Giants were.
So,
They were
Johnny,
a playoff team.
who's
but
Bo's
the Giants
defense?
Dominated.
we're going to defense. Oh, we're going
look
to
at
defenses
that.
now.
He's got
All right.
San Fran and the Eagles at number 2, so that's why he's taking San Fran. Defense wins championships, so that's why he's taking San Fran over the
I'm
Eagles.
still undecided.
And then, but he
It's
does
hard.
have
It's
KC.
hard.
It's funny.
It's a toss-up.
It's
It's a
funny
coin
that you
flip.
had
It's just-
Cincinnati above KC when you said KC's defense is better than Cincinnati in conversation
No, I said that KC's better at stopping the run. I think that
and getting to the quarterback because you said Joe Burrow's not going to have time.
right. I agree with that. But also the Bengals proved against the Bills that they can contain a team and make them one-dimensional because they could stop the run. DJ Reader is
I would say Reader
is very similar to Chris Jones. The only difference is he's not a guy that penetrates the pocket as a passer. He's an anchor that anchors the defense and stops the run up the middle.
I don't know. Ask Stefanski what DJ Reader is because you couldn't call flipping offense to stop him, you piece of shit.
And then the other
this is playoffs. We don't talk about the Browns.
Unbelievable.
Here's why Kansas City's defense is not the best. Okay, here's what they don't do well: tackle. And when they
I think the AFC doesn't tackle.
Well, it's I just don't think that their linebackers are
fair.
guys
That's
that
funny.
can fly across the field
No.
and tackle. And so, like, that's why they're not.
They have more tackles than the
I have
Niners.
those same rankings. I have those same.
Give Wheels rankings. Put everybody's rankings up there for defense
Exact
if you can.
same rankings. Those are my exact same rankings.
Yeah, I mean, it's
it makes
playoffs,
sense.
right? Top 4 guys. So, like,
Playoffs?
you're going to
Tackles
assume
are
that.
a skewed stat.
Oh, 100%.
I might have the Eagles at 1.
You want?
I was just bringing it up, but yeah, I do not think.
The only reason I have the only reason.
If the team's leading the league in tackles, why is that defense on the field so much? Why do they have to have so many damn tackles?
Well, I was going to say that the only reason
because
I have
they can't
the
stop
Eagles
a team on a
at,
third down.
Oh, that's not great.
I have the Eagles at 1 because of the simple
used
fact.
to lead the league in tackles.
Oh yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Bad teams usually have some really good like tacklers leading the league in tackles.
Luakung.
So the reason why I have the Eagles at 1 is just because that secondary is so much better than San Francisco's secondary. And if you're going to beat that team with an injured Christian McCaffrey, that secondary is going to matter. Not going to let anything over the top. So that's why I have the Eagles at 1.
Yeah, just on this side note here, the sidebar that we were doing, tackle volume it's a good statistic as far as like the amount of tackles, like you said, but like
It doesn't hold its weight.
I'm talking about the number of guys that are to the ball that are tackling with form.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm watching,
Philly.
I'm looking, Philly's one of them, but also the 49ers. When they tackle, it's not leg sweep, shoestring, diving at your ankle trips that the Browns do.
Yeah.
It's going through the player
It hurts.
at their hip.
It
with their
hurts.
helmet on
That'll
the
change this
ball.
year.
I don't
And
think so.
yes, it's tough. And that's
You're
why
stopping
I
them.
like those defenses. They're good form tackling defenses that you can just tell it's a different caliber of play, that the fundamentals matter. The Cowboys, when you watch them tackle Debo, when you watch them tackle Ayuk and Kittle, those guys went down. Like, that's why they didn't score 20-plus points.
Debo's a big boy to tackle, too. So, Ryan, what's your defenses? So you have the Eagles at 1, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Turnovers.
Is that the reason? Turnover ratio? Like
That's what that game's going to come down to.
turnovers?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 2 defenses battle up against each other. Which quarterback's going to make the first mistake?
Yeah.
And I would probably put that on the rookie because
That's where my money would be too. Yeah.
and to be honest, like I get that he's like I've been humbled before, but at the same point, it's
Purdy has?
yeah, he said that in a news conference.
Not in this league. Not yet.
Yeah.
Purdy and Jalen have played before.
Yeah, Oklahoma versus Iowa State.
See, yeah, they have.
2019.
Who won that game?
Oklahoma did by 1 point, but Brock threw for like 500 yards
6 tutties.
and 6 touchdowns.
That's
Or
not
close to
Oklahoma's
500.
defense.
But that's college. So how much weight does that have to hold in the
Who needs
NFL?
2 tutties
holds
when you
no
can have
water.
6? You know what I mean?
I would love to see. Has anybody thrown for 5 touchdowns against Philly's defense at all this year?
Probably
Or
not.
4 touchdowns?
I don't know if they're good.
Who have they played?
Gotta be
That
honest.
secondary is outstanding.
So they're
But
good.
who has Philly played? This is the
NFC East
top
is in the
defense.
playoffs.
What top defense has Philly
I'll tell
played?
you this: they did
Every
lose to
NFC
the
East
Commanders.
team that's in the
They were
playoffs.
1-1 against the Commanders.
Commanders,
The Giants.
Giants,
But-
the Cowboys, these are playoff teams.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
And
but
by
I
the way,
think,
all
I
those
just think
defenses
the
are better.
Niners,
All those defenses are better than the 49ers defense that they went up to in their conference. Look at Arizona.
I just
that's
think
fair.
the Niners are just. I don't know if they can
So you
stop
take
the
the-
Niners.
you're taking the
defense.
Eagles.
I
I'm
already
taking-
took the Eagles.
I'm
Yeah.
taking the Niners.
See, I got Niners. I got Niners. I got a low
taking the
scoring game.
Offense is going to be superhuman, or is going to be humbled. You think the Eagles are going to be humbled?
By
Good
the way,
luck. They haven't been humbled all year.
That's true.
we were in,
Look what they did to the Giants. The Giants look like a high school team. And that's not a bad defense.
we were in Kentucky and we stopped at a Chipotle, and no joke, a father and son were sitting at this table. The dad was wearing an Eagles hoodie. The son was wearing a Bengals sweatshirt.
And I said, man, that
That's a
household, if that
foretelling.
happens.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, that too. Like,
This
I didn't
is-
even think of that.
I think it's going to be the
Wait,
first
did
pick.
I just see the
The
future?
Matrix, baby. We love the Matrix.
So
You know
Is
what?
that my black cap?
What?
Philly averages 1 interception a game this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
I,
can see that.
I
Hold on.
can't find anything as
You're
to
right.
how many per
They
game.
average 1 interception a game. Take out the last 2 games with Minshew and the Jalen Hurts return game, which was 4 turnovers.
Right. No,
Take out those.
No.
They average less than a third of an interception.
This is defense.
defense.
Their defense gets 1
Oh yeah,
interception.
their turnover ratio is good.
No, you said I wonder if
Rico.
the Phillies D has gotten multiple interceptions. I
That's
can't
not
find
what I
that.
said. I said
what did he say?
I said I wonder if Philly's given up 5+ touchdowns in any of the games this season.
Gotcha.
And that was because he said Brock Purdy threw for like 6 touchdowns in college.
Who has scored?
But I just Purdy
Brock
throwing.
Purdy-
Against the
Brock
Giants.
Purdy's college stats don't
I
hold
agree with
anything
Jimmy
in
on
the NFL.
that. Purdy throws 2 interceptions. Is there a bet on that? Can you bet on that?
Maybe.
Turnovers, I don't know.
You can.
Bet on
So
anything.
Philly allowed 6 touchdowns
You could
against
bet
the
on
Giants.
The color pants they're gonna wear.
5 against Tennessee. 5 against Green
Go with that
Bay.
gold, by the way.
They
4 against Dallas.
they gave
4
up 5
against
or
Houston.
they threw 5.
Gave up. Gave up 5 against Pittsburgh. 4 against Jacksonville. 5 against
Passing
Detroit Week
touchdowns?
1. Just
I don't
overall
think
touchdowns.
so. Yeah, that's overall because there's no way because Pittsburgh didn't. I don't think they threw for 4 touchdowns all year. Mitch threw for more interceptions than touchdowns, and Kenny Pickett might be right there with him.
Let's go to offensive rankings.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let's
Jump
go.
into
Let's get
offensive
through
rankings right away.
Let's start with Steve on this one.
You want to start with me?
Sorry, KJ. Didn't mean to take your host.
I don't want to be started.
You want to start
You're
with me?
good. Steve also had the Bengals at 6, so we have to start with Steve on this one.
Yeah, they beat up.
Wow, you went from 6 to 2.
One of the best defenses in the
Wow.
NFL. I mean, yeah, you beat up on them.
The Bengals went from 6 to 2
You beat up on a top
over the Chiefs.
3 defense.
Sorry, go ahead.
Huh.
Yes,
I wonder how
This
that
is one
works.
of the games Steve got to watch this year. Okay, leave him alone.
they beat up on a top 3 defense.
They did.
You get to jump that, yeah,
Top 2, according to Ryan.
statistically. But as I found out last week, statistics don't mean shit. They don't mean anything in the playoffs. They
do
mean literally
matter.
nothing. They don't.
But emotion
Clearly, they don't.
and trends usually matter more when it comes to playoffs.
I
Emotion?
love trend.
What are you, a woman?
Mm-hmm.
Emotion matters.
Nah.
Unfortunately, like you said,
Look
Buffalo
good.
might have utilized their
Feel
emotion
good.
a little too early by getting 2
good.
kickoff returns for touchdowns when DeMar went out instead of focusing on that Cincy game.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And they had to pretend that he didn't.
Hold on. Oh, no. He was up in that
Not
suite giving up the
now.
heart sign and pumping everybody up, remember?
I'm not
Don't you
talking
remember
about
that
this.
snow game? Don't you remember when you couldn't see anything? Okay.
Cowards.
No, I think the Bengals deserve that jump, personally. I think Joey Burrow he's just so good, dude. I wish I would have taken Bo's advice. I really thought about that. He looked me dead in my eyes. He said, "It's Joey B for me, baby."
Yep.
And I think that's it. It's Joey B.
How do you guys feel about Twitter being mad about every Cleveland Browns fan rooting for the Bengals?
That's ass.
They don't seem to understand that we're
Ohio.
rooting for Burrow.
I'm not rooting
Yeah.
for the Bengals. I like Joey B. Joey B is 1 from Ohio. 2, he was a Buckeye.
He's a
3,
Buckeye. Graduated.
I mean, the Bengals are going to win. I think the Bengals are going to win. It's not that I dislike
That's right.
Mahomes.
Send those refunds, NFL.
That's funny. That's hilarious. How do you
Send
not like
those
that
refunds.
take? He says it. Yep, you better send those refunds. That's funny shit.
Post-game show.
That's funny. Send the refunds. That's hilarious.
I gained so much respect on a podcast I was watching with Joe B. They were interviewing him, and he still rocks Star Wars comforters
Yeah.
in his bed.
Wait, you gained respect?
He plays
Damn it.
Battlefront 2. That's his favorite game, he said.
I was a little on that.
Battlefront 2 is his favorite game?
Yeah.
He missed out. He missed out on Battlefront 1.
The first one was
I'm
better.
telling
first one
you,
was
this
way better.
kid-
Yeah, Joe Burrow is a stud,
It's just
man.
the beginning. Cannot wait
That's all
to
it's
see
gonna
what he
be.
does in the NFL from here on out, regardless of what happens this weekend. It's just these
Well, they're gonna lose T.
quarterbacks.
Higgins,
He has
so
Star
apparently,
Wars
according to you
comfort?
guys,
These
he's gonna have a
quarterbacks
tough
that
Oh, my
are in the
God.
Yeah.
NFL coming in now, it's going to be amazing.
So
for the
Wheels,
next
you
10
have
years.
Wheels, you have Kansas City at 1 with the injuries going on. Do you think they're fake injuries then?
Yeah, I do. But I'm still taking the Bengals. And I know these rankings don't show off of who I'm taking. But
Yeah,
that's
they
just,
not at all.
Sorry, you'll get dragged anyway because
That's all right. I
He
like
took the-
stirring the pot,
He literally
So-
took the Bengals to win,
and I took
but
the
the
Niners.
worst offense.
He
took the Niners to win, but they're the worst offense.
He believes
Wheels comes to a halt.
You know what's
What are you
funny?
going to say when
Do
it
we-
happens, KJ? What
Wheels hit
happens?
the
What
brakes.
happens?
Consensus-wise, do all of us have the 49ers as the worst offense?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
You don't?
No.
Okay, what's Bo's
Show
offense?
Bo's offenses.
Because he's not wrong.
Oh,
he's not
man.
wrong
Yeah,
because
that's
since
not-
Purdy's been in, they've been the
I could
highest
see it
scoring
because
offense.
the mixing.
Yeah, but they haven't beaten a top 3 defense.
Well, they beat. Well,
So
nobody beat a
here's-
top 3
here's
defense,
some-
but like 10.
The Bengals did.
Go ahead, go ahead, Bo.
Come on.
Hang on. It's okay.
Bring some power to this statement. Come on, let's go.
Steve, you were the one who sold me on this.
I sold you on the Bengals being dead last. They beat a top 5.
You sold me on this.
They beat. You're right. They beat the Ravens because of 3 turnovers.
Yeah,
The
listen.
Ravens are not a top 3 defense.
Yes, they are.
Oh
He's
my
talking
God.
last week, by the way.
Oh no.
He's talking last week. This is why you sold him on
Ravens
it.
are a top 3 defense
Because of the offensive line
I love
injuries.
you. I can't do this right now.
So what you're saying is the
Top 3?
offensive. Hold on. So you're. Bo,
I
you're,
failed on that last
you're
week.
saying the offensive line defense. The offensive line for the Bengals might not stand up to this defense in Kansas City front seven.
When you're the offense is based on the encompassing personnel plus the head coach, or the play caller, whatever you want to say. It's an offense.
You just going right into the next statement as you talk about it.
This is a makeup, right? This is
smart.
all encompassing. You're playing not only against the players, but the coaching as well and the schematic, right?
I thought we did
as
coach
a
rankings
defense-
too.
We did do coach rankings.
Show his coaches right next to that.
Show his coaches.
Who do I want to play the most out of these 4 guys?
That's fair. That's
Who do I
fair.
want to play the most out of
That's
these 4
fair.
guys on the offensive side?
I think
I'd love to play the Bengals right now.
I
Why?
think we all have
Because
the same
3
style.
offensive linemen
Zach,
Look at
are
that, look at
not
that.
starting.
I agree.
Not
And they
starting.
still
Number
did it,
2,
dude.
Joe Mixon. It has
you
an
hate-
on day and an off day and an on day and an off day. And
Hates
I'll
him.
take a guy that's not consistent
That's
all
funny.
day long.
Hates Joe Mixon.
I want to play against that.
Hates him.
And the other thing that I like to go against is the guy that has the worst QB rating going into the playoffs out of the last 4 quarterbacks.
That is true.
Patrick Mahomes is at
Burrow.
112.5. Jalen Hurts is at 112.2. Brock Purdy's at 109.9. Joe Burrow's at 100.8.
Okay.
That's true.
So
I have a question for you.
Give me the mix.
Who played
and it's the rushing to the
Who
quarterback.
did Kansas City play to get there?
Oh man.
Kansas City play to get here?
All right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
How did he get the 112 rating
The 112
against
rating?
Jacksonville's defense?
And Jacksonville still looked
No,
good
this
against
is the playoffs
KC.
for their main QBs. Okay, that's versus right the Bills, right?
Right.
And the Ravens.
Right.
Right. Burrow's played against better people, right?
Right.
That's your argument, and that Burrow has successfully beat both the better defenses. This is why they're tired.
I don't think they're tired.
They're done.
I don't think they're tired.
They're done.
Their next man,
offense is
their
big.
next
Yeah,
man up,
they're done.
their next man up
done.
mentality is ridiculous.
You've done it, man.
You're
Good
fired.
job.
Their backup
I'm
offensive
proud
linemen
of
play
you,
better than their
Baylor.
starters.
I love them, dude. All right, so do you want to go to coaches next, or you want to go to QBs next?
We can go to coaches now.
Oh yeah.
Because I think our coaches make our QBs.
I
to be
think
honest.
all of us
and
have
I,
the same
and I can
coaches.
understand
I
why
think
you're
we
saying.
do.
Here, go to me.
No,
I'll
I
tell you who
don't.
the coaches are.
You don't have the same coaches?
No, because
Tell me you have Shanahan
I
one.
have the same as
Tell me
Bo.
you have
No,
Shanahan
I don't
one.
have Shanahan
This
one.
is-
Andy Reid has history.
This is the only acceptable.
Shocking.
This is the only acceptable way. Andy Reid has been here
Taylor still last.
over and over and over again. He's proven it over and over again. And then when they go to other coaches, they talk about their lineage, and it all comes back to this guy. So, like, that's when you're an adjective for why a coach is good because they just throw your name in there. He's an Andy Reid guy as an adjective.
Yeah.
You've earned that.
He just can't wait to go to.
Who's an Andy Reid guy as a quarterback?
As a quarterback,
Yeah, who's an Andy Reid guy?
I mean, look at what Alex
are you
Smith was
talking
able to do,
about
dude.
Donovan McNabb?
Alex Smith did it in the 49ers.
Donovan
Who's an
McNabb?
No, no,
They-
no.
McNabb?
They reference McNabb as an Andy Reid guy, or is McNabb one of the
He
best
is.
to do it as his position?
Oh,
Andy
Brett
Reid was in the
Favre?
Eagles. Yep. Ooh.
Was
it
Mike
Favre?
Vick, was Mike Vick there too with him for a little bit?
Yeah.
You have Sirianni
I
too.
mean, I'm just naming Hall of Famers.
You have Sirianni at 2
That's-
over Shanahan?
wow.
Come
I'm
on.
just saying, like,
With only 2
Patrick
years
Mahomes,
of
we
success.
all would probably agree Patrick Mahomes is probably one of the better talents to come into this league in the past decade.
I don't know that.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that's fine. I'll accept that. I'll
I'm
accept
not- I'm
that.
not
All right, we're gonna
I'm just
mark
gonna
that.
say, I heard this from Travis Kelce. I still think it to be true.
Anybody can be
Travis Kelce
successful.
was asked it. Anyone can get open in an Andy Reid scheme. You saw Chad Henne come in for one drive and they scored a touchdown.
And Chad Henne's done it,
Just throwing it
actually.
out there.
Chad Henne did it in the playoffs last year
I don't know.
because Patrick Mahomes wasn't healthy.
This isn't my Bible. It's just what I believe. Okay, Nick Sirianni.
Sirianni over
is
Shanahan.
number 3.
Sirianni
So Shanahan. The only difference is that he's gone to the NFC Championship, proven time and time again. This is Sirianni's first time there. That's why I'm just going to throw Shanahan and give him the bone. Taylor, who went to the Super Bowl last year, he's done great with the Bengals and turning this around. But I don't think that he's the guy that did it. And
I think Joe Burrow is the guy.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow.
We all think Joe Burrow's the Peyton Manning of this team.
And it's okay. But Taylor's also done his job, which is keep Joe Burrow happy.
Joe Burrow's just so intelligent. Joe Burrow's so
That's my
intelligent.
take on coaches. I'm done.
You know what?
He's light years ahead of his age.
Did I miss anything?
No, I agree. I have a question for you guys though. So Joe Burrow's in that draft last year, and he's talking to Taylor. And does Taylor just look at him and go, "Do you want an offensive lineman or a wide receiver?" And Joe Burrow just looks at him and goes, "I want my boy."
That's it.
But look what his boy does.
Yeah.
Like he didn't need an
I don't
offensive
think
line.
Zach Taylor asked him that.
I don't think so
the
either.
GM does.
Well, but I'm just
damn right. I think Zach
That's
Taylor
the
sits
lead
in the
scout.
corner and he cries like, "I don't do anything good."
Do you think Zach Taylor's just a game
Zach
manager?
Taylor sits in the corner and gives us the look like John Gruden used to, by the way, because he's Chucky 2.0.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't mean to wag that in your face.
He literally just
Chucky 2.0. I love that.
Look,
He delivers
I
football
didn't
at the bars in
create the
Cincinnati.
image. I didn't create the image.
I think
would you create
so. All
It's
of
on my
us had the
messenger.
same as Bo did, except for KJ.
Oh, you sent it to me in text messages, not messenger.
Oh, what
Never
do you
mind.
do?
Never mind. But yeah, it's just one of those things where Taylor's going to have to earn some respect eventually because he's flipped that team around.
What's their record without Joe Burrow?
Was he there before Joe Burrow?
No, I'm asking, what was their record when Joe Burrow was
It does
injured?
look like John Gruden. You're right.
It does look like that.
But my thing was
I
he there
don't know.
before
The
Joe
spitting
Burrow?
image.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he was. He was there a year before. The
year they got
before,
rid of Andy
2
Dalton.
years.
The year they got rid of Andy
Oh,
Dalton.
when they won like 3 games.
And
not
then
even?
Joe Burrow went down, so he's been there 4 years now.
They are 2-5 without Burrow, all-time record.
And that's a
2
big
and 5 is only 7 games.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
good.
I know, but Joe Burrow's only played 3 years, right?
Yeah, but he missed 5 of those games last year. Or the
no,
first year.
I
The
was
first
just
year.
gonna
He tore
say
his ACL.
5 were from 2020, 1 was 2021, and 1 was last year.
Yeah.
Which last year and 2021 were both against AFC North teams.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to... Who's their backup? Like, that's not saying a lot, too. Like, if I have Minshew coming in backup, I plan on
something
losing
Allen, I think.
games.
Brandon Allen.
Their third down percentage without Joe Burrow is 35.2.
Which is why he takes sacks also on third down. He's already said this.
I thought he said without Joe Burrow.
They got to be up there, like, what?
I'm sure the third down
50s.
conversion is somewhere around 55 to 60.
Let's say low 50s.
Yeah.
What's
It's gotta be
what's
up there.
that, the average in the NFL?
No.
No, it's
It's like
since he's with Burrow.
It's like 40.
All right, so we did coaches. What
The
do you,
average
what
in the NFL is like 40. Well, I mean, we could jump. Well, so just to defend this, the reason I have Sirianni over Shanahan
That's bad.
is just because of what Sirianni's done with that offense.
You mean one of the most stacked offenses?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah, but how many times have you seen an
Congrats, dude.
offense not
You
produce?
walked into one of the best.
How many teams have you seen an offense not produce?
With
You realize that the Steelers 5 years ago, when they had Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown,
Jalen Hurts,
Mike
was starting to come into
Wallace.
stride. He was a playoff quarterback the year before Sirianni got there, was he not?
Jalen, no.
No.
Jalen Hurts, no.
Yeah.
They were going to get rid of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they were getting rid of him last
Didn't
year.
they get bounced in the first round?
That was last year, I think.
That's what I said.
But this is Jalen Hurts has only been
He
there what,
walked
2
into
years.
one of the best situations.
No, he's been there
possible.
3 years. Yeah.
Defensively, but that defense was good. That offense was not producing. So then he goes and he talks to the GM and he gets A.J. Brown. They drafted Devontae Smith.
No, they drafted Devontae Smith is from 2020.
But I'm just saying they drafted Devontae Smith and they go get A.J. Brown.
So
Devontae is who he is because of AJ.
Sirianni.
Right.
He walked into one of the best situations ever.
Well, they didn't produce.
here, Ryan,
The first year.
A.J. Brown was only Sirianni, by the way.
time out. I have a question for you. Why is Dan Campbell not where the Eagles are?
Because Dan Campbell
No
refuses
defense.
to do it.
They don't have a defense.
Well, no, time out. Now, I know that Sirianni walked into a situation with a very high-powered offense. Dan Campbell didn't do the same?
No, I don't think anybody realized how high-powered it was
I
until.
think it's a fair question.
I mean,
Yeah, no,
I agree.
Well,
I
he
think that's
almost did.
I mean, Amon-Ra wasn't even.
We're
which is why
tomatoes.
this is a better coach with better talent that made it to where they were at.
What is the talent they added
take
outside
that
of
away
A.J.
from the
Brown?
coach.
Look at the defense. Compare the defenses.
The defense was almost similar. Outside of them, they drafted Jordan Davis. They drafted Jordan Davis.
Traded for
and they got Ndamukong
Darius
Suh as a free
Slayton.
agent.
Last year was Slayton, where they traded for Slayton, right?
They've produced with Sirianni.
Or Slay, whatever his name is, the corner.
And you're going to say that this team next year can't do the same thing? I think that Sirianni can do exactly what Shanahan's doing.
Sirianni,
Cowboys.
Sirianni hasn't done enough consistently.
I
for
just
me
think
to
you're
put him
all
above
afraid.
Kyle
That's my
Shanahan.
point. I think you're all afraid. I've seen Shanahan put out poop on that field.
Amen.
Doug Peterson. He's not this far. He walked into a team that had talent.
If Sirianni and the Eagles win a Super Bowl,
That's a bad
this year,
comparison.
I'll put him over Kyle Shanahan. Then I don't.
But
see
I
him
would
being
say
there now.
Dan Campbell. I would say Dan Campbell took all the talent in the world and they just still didn't dominate.
What about Mike McDaniels?
How many people banked on that talent? Nobody thought the team was as talented as they were going to be this
What are you
year
talking
until
about?
halfway through.
I just want to make Ryan's point. Mike McDaniels walked into that offense. Mike McCarthy walked into that offense. Doug Peterson walked into that team. Like, yeah, that happens. Those coaches that go to the playoffs are there because they're recruited, right, to take over a team and take them to the playoffs.
He's making my argument for me.
Has the Eagles team doing what they're supposed to do with their talent.
How is he making the argument for you?
Because he's saying Sirianni is good enough to do it.
Sirianni's good enough. That's what they're doing.
I mean, so that's saying Zach Taylor's good
that's
enough.
what my point is.
But
I'm not putting him ahead of.
You're right, Jimmy.
Shanahan.
Howie is one of the best.
The only reason you're
GMs.
not putting him ahead of Shanahan
sure.
is just because one guy's only been there for a year, the other guy's been there for 3.
The pedigree does matter, but no, this
Hold
is
on, whoa. Shanahan's been there longer than 3 years.
Nick
I
Sirianni's
agree.
been there longer than 1 year. This is
John Lynch.
This
is
is his second year, I think.
This is Sirianni's second year.
How long has Shanahan been in San Fran?
5.
Let's
something like
double
that.
check.
Because he was on the hot
Yeah.
seat for a second, and then he started.
Wasn't he an OC prior to that?
No.
He was an OC
He
for
was
the
an OC
Falcons
for
and
the
the Browns.
Browns, and then the Falcons. And I think, when was the year the Falcons went to the Super Bowl?
Yep.
Like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was an OC for the Falcons.
think-
Then he got the job. No, it wasn't 4 years ago.
No, it was.
That was the 27.
I
league
can't
they
remember now.
I think I think he was hired after the Falcons Super
You're
Bowl.
saying 5 to 6, Jimmy? So 5 years. So he's made it to the playoffs 3 years, 4 years. I'm not saying Shanahan's not bad. It's just we're obviously talking about the cream of the crop outside of Taylor. We're obviously talking about the cream of the crop head coaches. These guys go to the playoffs almost every year outside of
Taylor
Eagles.
wouldn't even make this list for me.
Well, unfortunately,
No, I
we asked
agree.
for top 4 in the playoffs.
Yeah, I
so
know.
Taylor
No.
honestly
That's
gets
why he's
stuck
at
at
4.
4.
Yep.
And we all have that consensus.
Yeah.
Because we think that Joe Burrow is the reason that team's successful.
It's not we think.
Yeah.
Joe
just
Burrow
think- I
is
just
the
think
reason.
all the
There's no
pieces-
I'm not
question
gonna-
Joe Burrow's
I
the
don't know.
reason.
I see. You still have to have a head coach put the team together and put the plays in.
I think Hugh Jackson
This team
can
was put
be good
together.
enough to make Joe Burrow go to the playoffs. I'll
Hugh
be honest.
Jackson was
Hugh
not
Jackson, I
good
love that.
anywhere.
Love that.
But that's what I'm comparing. I
This is
think
what I'm
Zach
talking about.
Taylor and
The
Hugh
head
Jackson.
coach doesn't put the team together. He makes he's the one that makes.
You gotta
He
pee.
plays
Yeah.
chess.
Bad.
Who does
pieces
Zach?
are
Yeah,
already
does
there
Zach
for
Taylor
you.
do play
No,
calling?
Need a break. Can't do it.
Who does the play calling
Go,
for?
hey guys, scoot out.
I don't know.
Thanks.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Game on
right.
KJ.
I
Hey,
imagine
yeah,
they have an offensive coordinator.
What'd you say?
So it's fine. We're almost done with the show. He just really had to go.
We gotta
It's
go.
fine. We're off cam. It's cool.
Gotta go.
So
Gotta go.
I think that I think we have a habit of discrediting a guy who just hasn't done it, and this guy came in right away and did it, and unanimously is almost the #1 overall seed throughout the year. Like after the first 5 games, they were undefeated. After the first 7 games, they were undefeated. After the first 8 games, they were undefeated. They didn't lose till Washington. So like,
Who have they
and
beat, though?
That was a
you're not going to
trap
tell me the
loss,
coach has
though.
no input in that? No input? How come they couldn't do that with Jimmy Garoppolo? How come they couldn't do that with Trey Lance? And then if Brock Purdy was this good, why didn't you start Brock Purdy at the beginning of the year? So like, you're not going to. I'm going to tell you right now. I think
Because of
Sirianni's the
monetary
Brock.
reasons.
So the
what
rumor
monetary
was
reasons?
is
Nobody's
that-
getting paid. Nobody's making money there.
You're right. Jimmy G is making no money.
No, they
Compared to
restructured his
Brock Purdy.
contract to take chump change.
Okay, compared to Brock Purdy though.
Correct. He's 262.
Okay, I am correct.
Right, Mr. Irrelevant.
That's what I think the Super Bowl is going to be.
you've
Mr.
invested-
Coaches
Irrelevant
don't
versus
care about
first
that.
overall
Put the
draft
best
pick.
product on the field. I don't care about how much money it
You've
costs.
invested a #3.
Could you
pick
imagine
in
that
the
for
draft
the NFL?
on Trey Lance.
Put the best product on the field. Isn't that what a coach is supposed to do?
I don't disagree.
Why do you think
with
Tyler
that,
Huntley's
but I'm
out there
just
every
saying.
week?
Trey Lance is bad.
You don't play an injured quarterback?
Regardless of what happens this weekend with the Niners, Brock Purdy will be the starting quarterback next season for them.
Sirianni with the Colts as their offensive coordinator made it to the playoffs twice.
How long was he there?
He was there for 2 years, or 2018 rather. So he went there twice, and
Who? The
The
Philly?
Eagles.
Are you looking up Eagles?
I mean,
They beat top defenses in their
they
division.
went 9-8 last year, and finished second in the NFC East.
let me. I mean, the Redskins.
And
Redskins
they
are
made
big.
it to the playoffs both years under his head coachness.
All right, guys. I'm gonna have this argument for you guys because you guys are gonna talk about the NFC and who they beat, and they beat the NFC. The NFC's trash.
I mean,
There's 5 good teams in the NFC. Everybody else is trash.
I mean,
Tell me
they
otherwise.
lost to Washington. That's
23
right. They lost to the
23
Redskins. That was their
11 as the
first
head
loss
coach.
on the year. That's not good.
23-11 and a head coach over the last 2 years.
Commanders.
He's made it to the playoffs as an
Well,
offensive coordinator.
I said Washington. I didn't
with
say.
the
Did I say
Indianapolis
Redskins?
coach, who
Did
after
I?
they left have gone. After he left, have gone to crap. The offense has gone to crap. Jonathan Taylor hasn't done anything. The offensive line hasn't done anything since Sirianni left.
Jonathan Taylor's been injured.
They
but yes, I
barely
agree.
beat Chicago.
I agree.
Okay, fine. That's a fair statement. That's
I'm gonna
crazy.
take.
to look at that.
I'd rather
It's
take
Minshew.
Shanahan, who's been there before. I think he has more experience.
Chicago's Minshew.
No. I'm with Shanahan as well, but I'm not going to discredit Sirianni.
No, I mean,
Started it.
if he wins this game, I'll have a higher respect
NFL
for
is
him.
Not easy, especially in their division with the rivalries the way that they are. Those are top rivalries.
Washington's
Cowboys,
defense is
Commanders,
really good.
Philly,
The
New England.
Commanders, yeah, they're
the
very
AFC
good.
I think they're top
of the
10.
NFC.
And that's the thing. Like you just said, they played Dallas twice.
Lost what?
You're gonna tell me they didn't beat Dallas twice?
They didn't.
No, they lost that second game.
They had Minshew that game, and then the game they
matter.
beat. The game they
doesn't
beat
matter.
Dallas
Kyle Shanahan has shown this year it doesn't matter what your quarterback is, right?
No,
Or is that
That's my. I know, but that's my point. Steve. That's why I think.
Exactly.
That's why I think that no
Different
matter who
system.
you put in there,
Exactly.
it's the So that
I will
is
agree.
the
Purdy's better
opposite.
than Minshew.
The Niners are the polar opposite of the Bengals.
Now let's
Shanahan
go to
makes that
quarterbacks.
team. Shanahan makes that offense versus
I mean, we're
Zach
kind
Taylor
of talking about it.
versus Zach Taylor. Burrow makes that offense for the Bengals. He makes that team. So it's
Johnny, put our
polar
QBs up,
opposites.
please.
We probably, well, I wouldn't say. It's Burrow and Mahomes. We've been saying this for weeks. It's 1A, 1B.
Burrow, Mahomes,
There he
Hurts,
is.
Purdy.
I don't. Do we all have Purdy at 4?
Yes. Oh my lord.
I think he has some. in 3.
Wait. Yeah, I do. I have
I was
that.
about to
Did you?
say,
Oh yeah.
Who do you could have put at 4?
I got Mahomes at 3.
Man, see, I'm gonna get
Because the injury.
I'm gonna get dragged again.
I
But
don't.
that's my thing.
I don't.
Lord, look at you.
I don't disagree with his
You
ranking.
moved Mahomes down one.
It's
Injury.
This is this week's
Allegedly.
It's fake.
Correct.
Patrick Mahomes would be number 1
Yeah.
if he was 100%. I know that they're saying the injury may or may
He
not
wasn't
be
last
100%.
week. He wasn't number 1 for you last week.
I'm playing with is he 100%?
he was.
Not 100%.
wasn't. It was
I
Joy
think
B.
without him being 100%, he's still one of the best quarterbacks.
I agree.
I just don't think he's
You're
as
starting to
dangerous
piss me
as
off,
Jalen
you little
Hurts.
piglet son
And
of
I
a
think
bitch.
the best quarterback that I want under center is Joe Burrow on my team in any of these schemes. He's still my favorite
Oh, so he's
and
gotta
best
go.
quarterback, period. And he can in the playoffs. If I rostered anybody and I had the first pick,
Jalen Hurts.
out of 4 of them,
Jalen
I'm
Hurts.
taking Joe Burrow.
But his legs.
Me too.
No.
But Jalen
I'm
Hurts'
taking Joe
legs.
Burrow.
That's
That's
my
me.
that's my argument.
You don't want a running back at a quarterback?
No.
Jalen Hurts,
'cause
he throws
They
better.
get hurt.
I'm just saying. Bo, do you got to head out? I know you got.
can.
I know you got to go to work. So I just figured
damn.
I'd ask. All right. So Wheels. What's Wheels rankings real quick? He's got Burrow, Mahomes, Hurts.
Purdy.
Okay, Joey Burt.
All right, Ryan. What's your rankings? Mahomes, Burrow, Hurts, Purdy.
There you go.
Steve rankings. Burrow, Hurts. You had Hurts at 2 also. Ooh.
Did I?
Because the yeah.
Oh, are you sure?
Did
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not what I got.
I don't know. Maybe it was written wrong, or maybe he did a copy of the same.
Do you have Hurts? I thought you
it
said
coulda
you
had-
had Hurts 1.
I do have Hurts one. I had to ride with it.
Oh.
I had Hurts one last week.
We did have a conversation about this.
Oh,
last
yeah,
week.
I know. I got dragged for that at
So
work,
you had
too.
Hurts 1,
Yeah.
Burrow 2,
Yes.
Mahomes 3.
Burrow jumps for me. Yeah.
So why? So you're still in the danger factor? Is it
Yeah,
still the danger
Jalen
factor?
Hurts can still do it himself, in my opinion. He can still. He's Josh Allen-esque.
He's gonna have to.
He's gonna have to. I think he's I think he's going to have
Cover
to.
the wide receivers.
And that's not that I dislike Mahomes. Okay, it's not that I dislike him, but I flipping love Joe
I don't think you
Burrow.
can cover AJ
And honestly,
Brown.
Bo, you're a salesman. You sold me on him, and he showed me last week. He beat my top defense. How can I not give this man props?
I give him props. The offense,
I gave the Bills so much flipping props last week. I look like a halfwit. The Bills. I give the Bills too much props last week.
No one saw that out of the Bills coming. No one saw that.
My top 3 quarterbacks lost last week.
I did.
What do you have, KJ?
Oh, I have Burrow 1.
Picked them winning,
I have
but you
Hurts
didn't
2,
pick them
Patrick
winning
Mahomes
by
3.
17.
I agree.
34.
So
No, I picked him beating by 2 scores though.
do you think
I think it was 10. I think it was 10.
since he beats the Chiefs this weekend, do you have Burrow ahead of Mahomes regular season?
Since he beats the Chiefs, do I have Burrow ahead of Mahomes?
Who are you asking me?
I have Burrow ahead of Mahomes. Who doesn't?
No, I
have...
mean like regular, like let's say all-time quarterback rankings.
Oh, hands down.
Okay,
I have
That's what
Burrow ahead of Mahomes all time
I
right
have
now.
him
over
right now.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Burrow over Mahomes too. But I mean, come on, Mahomes is.
You guys are all trailing.
I think
by
Mahomes.
day.
I think I'm gonna get dragged for this.
Guys 2 weeks ago.
I ranked
not one
Burrow.
of you had
I'm
Burrow.
giving you all the props. All of the
I had
props.
Burrow at 1.
I just looked at you and said, Bo sold me.
I'm gonna
I
get.
had Burrow
on
at 1.
TV. On YouTube.
What? What'd you do? Change the graphic?
No, I had Burrow at 1.
Change your graphic.
I had Mahomes at 2.
Did you put the graphic up from last week or from whenever we talked?
No, we'll talk about that on Wednesdays. We'll bring it up on Wednesday's show.
We're doing closing.
But yeah, Bo, before you head out, what's your takeaways for this weekend? And give Jimmy some razz because he sucks at his takes.
Jimmy does?
Jimmy says, "Don't speak Hugh Jackson's name ever." Sorry, Jimmy.
Which camera am I looking at here? This one. All right. If you're gonna make bets today, or tomorrow rather, in the NFL games, they're so tight. It's gonna be. I'd think that my bets would be take the home. Just take the guys at home because you're essentially getting 3 points when they're playing at home. And so if the spread, if it's less than the 3 points, these games are going to come down to field goals. I think the home team wins just from the ampness of the stadiums and it being playoff football. I'm taking the home teams, minus less than 3.
Such a dick, Ryan. I just saw Ryan rag me. Sorry. All right.
He's leaving out. You can talk to me, baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, take it easy, Bo. Wheels takeaways for the day.
Take it
Bo,
easy.
I love you.
Takeaways for the day or just takeaways in general?
In general. Your closing statement.
Yeah, man,
my
whatever you wanna
closing
talk about.
statement, I'm going to get dragged for this from you guys, is I think Mahomes went to the perfect system and Burrow is light years ahead of what I think Burrow will be lifetime.
Yeah.
He's been saying this for a couple weeks.
shut your mouth,
Do you
you
think he's been saying this for a
that's
couple
fair.
weeks? Do
Yeah,
you
he
think
has.
Patrick Mahomes would succeed in Cincinnati as well as Burrow has?
I don't think, Mahomes would not be as successful as Burrow in Cincinnati at all.
Sorry, is that a closing
So
statement or is
that-
that a closing question?
That's a closing statement.
That's an Andy Reid thing.
That's a closing statement.
All right.
No, it's just you're drafted where you're drafted. I'm not taking
Oh,
that
yeah,
away.
I
You're not taking anything away from Mahomes. You're just saying how good Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow got thrown in the fire day one. Good luck.
Dude, everyone said
Lost
this
his
about
leg.
Mahomes when they traded away Tyreek Hill. Mahomes is going to be bad. Bullshit.
I didn't
Dude's
think.
for real.
You know what?
I
That's
think
fair.
he's for real.
He's
I,
good.
He's
I,
for real,
I
but
said
I
he was
think
going to take a
Burrow
step back.
long term will be.
He's MVP.
I think Burrow long term
now
will
he's
be ahead of
MVP.
Mahomes.
Mahomes can do it all, man. He's got a rocket for an arm. He's accurate. He knows how to extend plays. He has good pocket presence. The kid's a stud, and there's a reason why Andy Reid did what he did to get Mahomes.
He's an MVP. He's not
Shouldn't
the
have
best
paid him
quarterback.
10 years,
It's Dan
though.
Marino and Tom Brady.
But do you
Donovan
think?
McNabb didn't have careers like this under Andy Reid.
Started a fight.
Well, you just got to
Oh, there it is,
eat the
Jimmy.
hook.
There it is.
Alex,
That's
you
true.
just gotta
have careers like this under Andy Reid. Trust me, this kid is good.
Exactly, Jimmy.
You got to be careful, though, with running quarterbacks, and he scrambles a lot. And this year they didn't put talent around him. He had to scramble a lot. Look what happened. Another injury.
Still playing.
He had the same
high
injury when he lost the Super Bowl against
Allegedly.
Tom Brady.
Allegedly.
Same injury.
Maybe Smith
All
and
right,
Jigba to Casey.
Ryan, your closing statements for the day?
He's cutting me off.
Tequila can't fix your life.
That's not
but
true.
it's worth a shot.
Hey, that's a pun. I love it.
That needs to be put on a shirt.
Steve?
Thank you all for being here. If you're still here, I know Jimmy's still here. We love you guys. God bless you. God bless your families. We love talking football, and we appreciate your support. That's why we're here. That's why we keep doing it. So keep tuning in. Tell your friends. For the love of God, tell your friends. We appreciate you. We'll see you Wednesday.
All right, guys. Johnny, I know you ain't got much closing statements. I know you've been pretty quiet today. Any closing statements for me?
No, just enjoy your weekend, and hope you, just like last weekend, hope you guys hit on your bets.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's all about right now. I hope you guys have a good weekend. This was it wasn't really a longer show. It was a good show. We need to get into more debate, and we're probably going to do that a little more when we have less people on cast, just so we can get head-to-heads and better arguments. I know that it's a lot going on with 5 people. So that being said, I just wanted to thank you guys for hanging with us and having some conversations with us. Thanks to chat.
Be good at it.
Thank you for the chat, for being active. We're going to probably start changing things up on the chat. We might actually get to you guys after every segment. So when we're starting to close the segments, this way we can respond to you guys a little better. I know.
Except for Jimmy agreeing with Wheels.
I love you, Jimmy.
I know we're having a little bit of a hard time responding all the time with the
we'll see you
chat.
in about an hour.
I just do this. I stir the pot.
You are the antagonist, and I did intro you as the antagonist.
Can I get a shirt made like that, Steve, please?
Yeah, I will do something.
I want to.
I'm
gonna give you guys.
I got a lot.
I'm gonna give you guys my bet for the day, though. Here's my bet for tomorrow. I have AJ Brown anytime, Christian McCaffrey anytime, Kittle anytime, Jalen anytime, Jalen over
Debo
1.5
anytime.
Jalen over 1.5, Christian McCaffrey over 31.5, Kittle over 46.5 receiving. That's a $5 bet, returns $600. So
I'm gonna get a look at that one.
Now give us how many times you've won.
I only win on my money lines.
Going after my picks, eh?
I will say Keenan Allen screwed me over. If he would have got 9 more yards in that game, I would have won $1,500.
I know you and Steve both got hurt with those guys.
Yeah, so that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. We will get back to you guys, and then please tune in when it comes closer to the offseason, because it's going to be a lot of fantasy talks and about players that we're going to talk about.
A lot of draft talk.
A lot of draft talk.
NFL draft's going to be big, baby.
So you guys take it easy, and we will talk to you guys soon. Have a wonderful Saturday.
Later.
Bye.
Oh, my legs.